Current Chicago temperatures at 72 degrees along the lakefront, Midway 75 degrees, and the official reading at O'Hare 76 degrees with a south wind 21 miles an hour. WMAQ-TV, Chicago.
The baseball week began with Fernando Valenzuela suffering his first major league loss. On Monday night, he gave up 4 runs, 3 hits, and this home run to Mike Schmidt to suffer his first loss. But today, he makes his national television debut in Cincinnati. Top honors, though, for the week go to veteran Jim Bibby after allowing a leadoff single, retired 27 straight with a one-hitter. 3 managers in the American League ejected with some theatrics. We'll take a look at that. We're now a week away from the strike deadline. Proposals and possibilities as we prepare for Major League Baseball on NBC. NBC Sports presents Major League Baseball, an inside look at baseball and a preview of today's games of the week. Brought to you by Lowenbrau. When you want the taste of a truly great beer, there's really only one. Tonight, let it be Lowenbrau. And by Quaker State. New car or old, staying on the road with Quaker State. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Baseball on NBC, or more appropriately, buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Bienvenidos a la baseball en NBC. I'm Bryant Gumbel. The Spanish is appropriate on this day because today, going for the Dodgers, Fernando Valenzuela. He's the man you've been reading about, the man you've been hearing about. The record tells it all. He is 8-1. He has 7 complete games, 6 shutouts, an ERA of 0.91. The man is truly something sensational, a rookie. He'll be going for the Dodgers today as they go against the Reds. Our other game has the Red Sox going against the Brewers. Turning our attention to news of the week, Bob Kennedy is out as GM in Chicago. In is Herman Franks. Johnny Gorel out as manager in Minnesota. Replacing him, third base coach Billy Gardner. Meanwhile, Steve Stone. Remember a year ago he was a Cy Young Award winner, 25-7. Well, now he's on the 21-day disabled list with a record of 2-3 and ERA of 4.72. Fernando Valenzuela, meanwhile, as we told you on Monday night, he suffered his first loss. It came at the hands of the Philadelphia Phillies. Mike Schmidt homered off him in the first inning. Fernando, though, only gave up 3 runs in the night. His ERA ballooned, mind you, to 0.91. Meanwhile, Tom Seaver just keeps rolling right along, just like Old Man River, pitching as good as he ever did right now. Tom Seaver picked up career win number 250. It came at the expense of the Chicago Cubs. Fanning Ivan De Jesus here. He's now got 41 Ks on the year, a 5-1 record, an ERA of 2.04. Top honors, though, as we noted, was Jim Bibby. He took the hill against the Atlanta Braves. The first batter he faced was Terry Harper. When Harper lifted this bloop single in the right field, nobody had a way of knowing that it would ruin a perfect game because Bibby retired the next 27 straight. The league's top hitter, how's this for a surprise? Art Howe of the Houston Astros, a veteran utility infielder for much of his career. Art Howe now hitting .372. He has 55 hits to lead the National League, and he is the owner, a proud owner, mind you, of a 21-game hitting streak. There was a big trade this week. Jim Spencer, you see him crossing the plate right there, hit a game-winning home run on Tuesday night. The very next day, he and his 143 average were traded off to the Oakland A's. Headed along with Spencer out to the A's is Tom Underwood, a disappointment in a Yankee uniform, just 1-4 this year with an ERA of 4.41. The major coming over to the Yankees, this young man, 27-year-old left-handed hitting first baseman Dave Revering, owner of a .230 average. Ejections, well, there were 3 this week worth noting. Look at Jimmy Fry kick up some dirt. That's a pretty good performance, but it might not have been as good as Gene Michaels. Well, look at this one. First went the hat, then came the jacket. That was a first. But they were both outdone a little bit by the real master of getting thrown out. That is Earl Weaver. But Earl really didn't have a lot to complain about. His Orioles very hot, winning 18 of their last 21. The A's very, very cold on the opposite end, losing 8 of their last 9. And now checking the strike front, as you know, strike deadline set for May 29th. That is just a week away. The owners and the players are meeting right now in Marvin Miller's office. I spent some time with Miller on the phone this morning. We talked a little bit about the proposal that was offered this week. The owners, people say the proposal is different than the past. The players say it's nothing different at all. Let's take a look at some of the old and the new. According to the owners, there is no change, or should I say according to the Players Association, there is no change in the fact that the owners want a premier player to be designated as one of the top 50% as compensation bait. The owners also want a secret draft, and they want the same compensation scale. The players admit that these changes have been made. that the owners are willing to now include performance statistics to determine just who is a premier player, that they're willing to give the free agents the right to negotiate with more than 13 clubs, and that they are willing to say that for a free agent that's gone after 14 years experience, only amateur compensation is needed. Well, some people say that since this was Greeby's first movement in some 16 months of negotiation, it was perhaps to look good in the eyes of the NLRB. This past week, both Greeby and Miller went before the National Labor Relations Board to talk about the owner's finances, which Greeby says is not at issue in the current baseball dispute.
Contrary to the allegations of the Players Association, the major league clubs have never stated or even suggested that their financial status is at issue in any way in the current collective bargaining. The sole issue in the current negotiations is limited to the club's plan for replacement playing personnel for those clubs which in the future may lose a ranking free agent. The subject does not involve the club's finances, and the club's positions in bargaining has not been advanced or motivated in any way on the basis of a lack of financial capacity.
As all of baseball awaits an NLRB ruling as possibly the only thing that might stave off a strike, there are a couple of things to remember. Before one could be staved off, three things must happen. Number one, the NLRB would have to believe that the owners refused to bargain in good faith and that there was a violation of labor law. Secondly, the Players Association would have to seek an injunction in court. And third, a judge would have to grant that injunction in order to stave off a strike. For those who think there may be a last-minute change, there is this ominous warning from Ray Greeby, quote, that the owner's proposal removes both the need and or the possibility of 11th hour negotiations. So on this Saturday, it looks very bad indeed for baseball. I'm joined now by Tom Seaver to my left of the Reds and Dave Stewart on my right of the Dodgers, because we have learned that the players' representatives will meet with Marvin Miller on Thursday. They have empowered him to do what's best for baseball. Let me ask the two of you, how united is the Players Association? Tom, I ask you first because you're a veteran. You stand, maybe some would say, the most to lose by a strike.
Well, I think that's one of the points at issue. It's really not something that's out in the open, but I think one of the points at issue is how strong is the Players Association, and I think the association proved its strength the last time there was a strike. It proved it last year, and I think much to the disbelief of many of the people in this negotiation on the ownership side, that they will find that the players are very strong again.
Is it worth it, Tom? There are some people who said, hey, it's not that big an issue to either side. You guys are fighting for pride.
Well, I think that's a lot of it behind the scenes, Brian. That definitely getting Marvin, I think, is an issue in this situation. It's sad to say, but I think it's true. And I think they want to test the association. They think the players will not go out if, and I do believe that Ray Greeby and his negotiating committee are trying to force the players out, and the players will go out. I feel the players are very strong.
Let me turn my attention to you, Dave Stewart, because a lot of people have said, hey, a show of hands in the locker room doesn't work because there's too much peer pressure, that a Dave Stewart couldn't vote no in the face of a Steve Garvey and a Ron Say and a Steve Yeager voting yes. How do you respond to that?
Judging by, what I've heard and the things that I do know about the strike, regardless, it wouldn't make a difference whether it was peer pressure or not. I would still vote in favor of the Players Association, because what they're doing now is so that the younger players, myself and other players who are coming along, will have the same benefits later on that the players have now.
Does it make a young player, a Dave Stewart, afraid? You finally made it here. You've worked 11 or so innings. You're trying to make a name for yourself. You're not making a lot of money. Are you frightened?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm not the least bit afraid, because like Tom said, the Players Association is strong. We've proven it in the past, and we have good leadership in Marvin Miller. I think that everything will work out for the best.
Dave Stewart, Tom Seaver, thank you very much. Once again, the clubs have voted to empower their player representatives and Marvin Miller on Thursday night to do what they believe is best for baseball. We'll be back in a moment.
Here's two good friends. Tonight is kind
First Lane!
One solo and he's ready for the space program.
Must say something.
I'm going to set this thing down in about 10 minutes, and I expect a terrific reception.
How about us and a case of Lowenbrow?
Perfect.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Must have been great up there.
Oh, I don't know. It's pretty great down here.
It was just what the kids and I needed. Classic styling, size 14, double E. But I just didn't see how I could handle the financing. Wouldn't you know, Realty World had the answer. Their RealFlex financing alternatives gave me information on flexible home financing. So, thanks to RealFlex, I am the sole owner. We'll cover it all for you.
And all the time I've been hauling new cars, I've never seen anything like it. Quaker State's new lifetime engine lubrication protection program. Use Quaker State, and you can get protection that guarantees your new car engine against oil-related failure. The engine, as long as you own it, in writing. It's guaranteed by Quaker State. The quality motor oil. Refined from Pennsylvania-grade crude oil.
New car or old, you'll be staying on the road with Quaker State.
Baseball is not the only sport now involved in an ugly off-field dispute. As you know, the Raiders and the NFL are in the courtroom. Trial moved into its second week this past week. Let's take a look at the issues. A report from NBC News' Meredith Lewis.
As the Oakland Raiders see it, the NFL maintains an illegal monopoly over professional football. The NFL is supposed to promote competition. But when NFL members voted here to keep Oakland from moving to Los Angeles, the lawsuit accuses the league of restraining competition. Ticket sale competition from having two teams in the same area. The Anaheim Stadium is 30 miles from Los Angeles, but the NFL allowed the Rams to move here 2 years ago from the old Coliseum. If the Raiders moved into the Coliseum, the club could sell more tickets, but a transfer could also mean some lucrative cable and satellite TV contracts for the Raiders. In federal court, NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle testified that Raiders owner Al Davis knew that a transfer required the approval of 3/4 of the league's members.
We've repeatedly said that I had, as far back as October 1978, an oral agreement. I had the right to move my football team. You know, if the eventuality became a reality, I had the right to move without a vote.
Davis accuses Rozelle of conspiring to keep the Raiders out of Los Angeles, but Rozelle denies that charge.
I did not, and the club presidents in the National Football League have great difficulty in conspiring to reach an adjournment of a meeting, let alone anything beyond that.
Are you confident? A negotiated settlement is still very possible in this trial. Even Pete Rozelle himself has been quoted as saying that the league might favor an expansion team for Los Angeles, as long as Al Davis had nothing to do with it. Meredith Lewis, NBC News, Los Angeles.
I'm joined now by my buddy Pete Axtome, who rarely takes things as seriously as some of us would like to believe they are. Pete, you're very close to the Raiders situation. What are your feelings?
Well, Brian, I think the league has won the opening rounds of this thing, but it's going to be a long one, and trials are very hard to handicap. I'd rather have a horse race. Should warn fans, sports and courts are tough to mix. A friend of mine, Eddie Schuyler of the AP, covered a boxing trial recently. After 7 days, he says, I got to relax and go to a real fight. In the third round, he jumped up and yelled objection.
The baseball strike is getting, unfortunately, a little bit serious. What do your sources tell you?
Well, I figured out on my own that the owners aren't the only people who have shown a little confusion in recent weeks. You know, the players picked May 29th to go on strike because they thought they were knocking out Memorial Day weekend and all the big crowds. Nobody told them that Memorial Day was this weekend. So if I'm expecting a Christmas present from Marvin Miller, I'm thinking New Year's Day.
And one final question. Who do you think is the real loser in this? Some people say the fans, some say the owners, some say the players. Who can least afford it?
Ed Garvey of the Football Players Union. Every time a football player reads about the numbers being thrown around, his constituency gets shakier.
You're a weird baseball fan. Stick around. There'll be a field goal in the third inning. We're going to step aside for just a moment, and when we come back, we will talk about the man who the 50,000 or so we're expecting have come to see, Fernando Valenzuela. Ole.
A work of nature this beautiful deserves an oil stain this beautiful, this rich, this enduring. Olympic oil stain. Its specially treated oils penetrate deep into wood's fibers to protect wood and give your home a natural vitality that lasts for years. Olympic oil stain, for beauty that's more than skin deep.
Now buy 4 gallons of any Olympic product and get one free at participating Olympic dealers.
If one Rolaids tablet isn't always enough for your acid indigestion, watch this Tums demonstration. 1 Rolaids and 1 Tums tablet are added to stomach acid. Both neutralize the acid. But on those occasions when your stomach has even this much more acid, Tums can still absorb it. Rolaids can't. Because tablet for tablet, Tums neutralizes 1/3 more acid than Rolaids. For acid indigestion and heartburn, all you may need is this, Tums.
Combine martial art karate with the power and flurries of heavyweight boxing, and you get the exciting PKA Championship bout. Plus, it's the incredible brute strength of the world's strongest women in the World Powerlifting Championships tomorrow on NBC Sports World.
All eyes at Riverfront today on Fernando Valenzuela, he of the fine left arm, but he's a young man from Mexico who does not speak English. And as I found out last night when I talked with Fernando, the problem is you have to use Tom Lasorda sometimes as an interpreter. Tommy, I've noticed he has copied something from your style in your great days as a left-handed pitcher, and that is that there is a point at which he closes his eyes during his motion. Could you ask him if he picked that up from you?
Él dice que tú la único pitcher que cierra tus ojos cuando tú estás tirando la pelota. Él piensa que tú aprendí eso de mí.
Pues yo cierro los ojos porque para no ver cuando me den por ahí, porque no lo voy a poder agarrar. Yo creo usted también le daban por ahí, pero aprendí eso.
He said he closes his eyes because a lot of times you don't want to see something, and he don't want to look at me, and that's what he learned from me.
Is he aware of how good a pitcher you were, Tommy?
Él dice, él pregunta si tú sabes que yo era un gran pitcher cuando yo pitchaba.
Pues ahorita estaba diciendo él que batió una línea, un doble. Y pues, yo creo que sí.
He said he thought,
the truth.
I'm telling you the truth. He said he thought I was until he heard you say that you hit a double off me. Now he doesn't believe that I was a good pitcher.
How would he describe his relationship with you?
¿Cómo tú puedes explicar tu relación conmigo?
¿Cómo explico?
Yeah, ¿cómo tú puedes explicar tu relación conmigo? ¿Cómo tú sientes de mí?
Bueno, me siento bien, porque pues entiendo lo que hablo en español, o sea, para comunicarnos, por eso, pues yo creo que eso es muy bueno.
He said that he wanted you to know that I'm the finest manager he's ever played for, and he loves me very, very dearly. In all the years he's been in baseball, he never really found someone who really did the job for him like I did, and he was very, very happy to be playing for me. He loves the Dodgers very, very much, and he's very happy to be here.
I noticed the hesitation. He's not the first person you left speechless. Is it true that all your hopes are with him and he is never, never far out of your sight?
You better believe it. Look what I think of Fernando right there. That's my man. All I can say is, Viva Fernando and muchas gracias, Mexico.
Fernando at 8-1, the Dodgers at 28-11, both figures helping Tommy Lasorda look like a very, very brilliant manager this baseball season. Fernando in his national debut going against Mario Soto and the Reds, and our other game is the Red Sox and the Brewers Torres against Lurch. I'm Brian Gumbel. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for baseball following these messages from your local station.
Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters play host to Dolly Parton and John Schneider. Then see all your favorite country stars in a song-filled 2-hour special from Nashville, celebrating 50 years of country music, a sensational night of music. Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters, then 50 years of country music Saturday on NBC.
If you drink beer, you've probably tried at least one of these fine imports. Beck's, Heineken. But for people the world over who know and appreciate an exceptional beer, Dab by Dortmunder is becoming the obvious choice. And its taste tells you why. So come on, America, reach for a Dab. You'll love the imported wonder from Dortmunder. Dab, ahead of its class in taste and tradition, ahead of its class.
Any car can get you there, but you can make you feel like you will behind the wheel of a Fiat. Nothing moves you like a Fiat, nothing offers quite the thrill. No other car can set in motion the emotion of Fiat.
Of all the exciting reasons for owning a Fiat Spider, the best one is how it makes you feel.
Nothing moves you like a Fiat.
Running Out of Patience, a special report, Monday at 10 on Channel 5.
I don't know, he don't speak English, so I couldn't tell him too much, you know, from what I read. I don't know, I think it's all up to him, and let him do it the way he wants to, because every person's got an individual life, and let him lead his life, just like I led mine.
Mark Fidrich giving advice to Valenzuela. Fidrich, who found himself pretty much like this young man. All America loved him. All America loves Valenzuela. And we'll see him this afternoon as the Dodgers go against the Cincinnati Reds. NBC Sports presents Major League Baseball Game of the Week. Today from Riverfront Stadium, the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Cincinnati Reds. The Game of the Week is brought to you by Lowenbrau. When you want the taste of a truly great beer, there's really only one. Tonight, let it be Lowenbrau. And by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to test drive the EXP, America's new personal sports coupe. By Gillette Atra, the razor with the pivoting head or all the curves and corners of your face. The pivot makes it better. And by Goodyear, makers of Arriva, even its footprint tells you it's different. It's a beautiful day in Cincinnati, a bright sun shining, a good crowd on hand, some 50,000 as we get ready to watch the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Garagiola. Alongside me, Tony Kubek as always. And Tony, all we've been reading about is Valenzuela, the new sensation. But the other side of the field, we've got a guy named Mario Soto pitching.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people in Cincinnati and on our television network will be coming to see Valenzuela, but a kid from the Dominican Republic, Mario Soto, as you mentioned, last year against Atlanta, he overpowered that ball club, struck out 15, so if he is right, he may be a star in today's game also.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but right now before the game, it is all Valenzuela, and I'm going to ask his manager, Tom Lasorda, what is a Fernando Valenzuela?
Well, Joe, after watching him pitch, I've come to the conclusion that it's really an Inca prince, 2,000 years old, and the big Dodger in the sky called him and said, I've got an assignment for you. You've got to go down to earth. You've got to get into this body of this young 20-year-old and help Tom Lasorda and the Dodgers win a pennant because they need help very, very much. This guy is amazing. I just can't believe it.
So there you are. You'll be watching a 2,000-year-old prince coming back, and we'll have the lineups for you right after these messages.
Just coming out to look for you greenhorns.
We took a little detour.
Little detour for what?
Well, we want to say thank you for putting up with us these last couple of weeks.
So we stopped at the store and picked up some Lowenbrau. By golly, you city folks are all right.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
We had such a good time. We're coming back next year. Okay, but don't tell my horses that.
You're looking at Super Paint from Sherwin-Williams. It's so chemically superior, even to other Sherwin-Williams paints, that when you use it, we guarantee you won't have to paint again for 10 full years. And we know how you feel about painting. Super Paint. It's available in interior and exterior, but it's available only at a Sherwin-Williams store.
Fact, when you waste gasoline, you waste money. Fact, a lot of leading motor oils now claim to save you gas. Fact, the black oil Arco Graphite saves you more gas than those other leading oils. Why? Because friction robs you of gas mileage, and Arco Graphite reduces friction better than any of those oils. So start saving gas. Use Arco Graphite, because it's a fact, not friction. Look for Arco Graphite's $1.80 refund offer.
Since 1933, the All-Star Game has been a highlight of the baseball season. This is the 12th consecutive year fans have voted to help select the All-Star teams. You can continue the tradition by voting for this year's starting lineups in the nation's largest non-political election. Ballots are available free at retail stores featuring a Gillette All-Star display and at major and minor league parks. Balloting ends July 1st, so be sure and get out and vote.
Furnished by Major League Baseball and Gillette.
Well, today, to give us the Dodger lineup, we have a special friend. Would you give us the lineup, please, sir?
There you are, Joe, right there on that piece of paper.
No. Would you tell us who's playing?
Well, at first base, we have the first baseman, and at second base, we have the second baseman.
No. You got to call out the names. Call out the names for us.
Call out the name. Well, let's see. Russell, Landro, Baker.
No. Just read the names and the positions so they can mark down the lineup.
Oh, well, Bill Russell is batting first and playing shortstop. Kenny Landro will be playing center field, batting second. In third position, we have Dusty Baker, and he's playing center field. He's playing center out there in the middle of the right and the left fielder. And then we have Steve Garvey batting fourth and playing first base. Third base will be Ron Say, batting fifth. I love that word, fifth. And then there's Pedro Guerrero, right field, batting sixth. Mike Socia batting seventh, and cashing. Darryl Thomas will be batting eighth, and he will be playing second base. And a sensational pitcher, Fernando Valenzuela, will be in ninth position, and he'll be on the mound. Where's my favorite player?
Who is your favorite player?
Bobby Wine.
Bobby Wine?
Yeah, I have a favorite in baseball. I have a favorite club in golf.
What's your favorite club?
Canadian.
Foster Brooks, our lineup giver, Tony. That's a different Foster on left field. That's George Foster for Cincinnati. Kenny Griffey in center. Dave Collins in right. Ray Knight at third. Dave Concepcion at short. Ron Oster at second base. Johnny Bench continues to play first base for the Reds. Mike O'Berry, the catcher. And Mario Soto of the Dominican Republic. And he is charged up with his ball game. Why? Because he's pitching against Valenzuela.
Youngster really got a reaction, Valenzuela, when he went down to the bullpen and also when they announced him. Soto will be going against the hottest club in baseball. 28-11, the Dodger record, a percentage of .718. They've won 5 of the last 6 road games. Soto averaging 8.2 strikeouts per 9 innings, 3.3 walks per 9 innings. So the national debut of Fernando Valenzuela gets underway with the first pitch thrown by Mario Soto to Bill Russell.
Soto, in his manager's eye, Johnny McNamara, may have been 7 wins and 1 loss this year had he had some support and some runs. Behind home plate.
Dutch Rennert is behind the plate, and you'll be able to pick up those strikes without us telling you. He lets them know. That's from his minor league training when he let everybody in the ballpark know what the count was. Left field, Foster digs hard. He'll not get it. It'll be extra bases for Russell. He lost something, Tony.
I don't know. He didn't get a good start on the ball. It may have been his sunglasses that fell off his head or from inside his pocket. Griffey comes over to help him out. I think those were sunglasses popped out of his pocket.
Bill Russell was hitting at 192 with no home runs, 8 runs batted in. He's on at second base, and Kenny Landro with 4 home runs, 20 RBIs, hitting at 280. Landro came over from the Minnesota Twins in the Mickey Hatcher deal.
One job right now, get the ball to the right side and get runner Russell to third base.
When Dutch Rennert finishes umpiring behind the plate, he's got to sleep well at night. He really, really puts out an effort. Straight back. May have a play. Just barely into the stands. 2 strikes on Landro. Dusty Baker is the on-deck batter, and Baker now says that he tells Landro every time that he goes up there, drive him in, but leave yourself on so I can pick you up. Baker did that last night with 3 RBIs.
Got the game-winning hits. Landro is quite an acquisition for this ball club because they've struggled in that center field position for a while. Rick Monday got hurt off and on. Darryl Thomas filled in temporarily. Pedro Guerrero came along. But this man can throw, he can run. He did it.
Ground ball, he's out, moves the man to third.
There's a pitch that I would question, and it is not a second guess. He's got no balls, 2 strikes. He changes up on him. Why not fastball and try and get him into the left side?
If it's a fastball outside, I don't think he can pull it. He just kind of flicked that ball to the right side.
Gave him a pitch he could pull and get Russell down at third, where he can now score on the sacrifice fly.
Good basic baseball.
But if he strikes him out, gets him way out in front, you say, what a great pitch, too.
Here's Dusty Baker, who had 12 sacrifice flies last season. He's got a man on third. Needs one now. Hitting at .305, 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Hit a home run last night. Strike one. Way out in front.
Reds are tight at the corners. Knight and Bench will go home. Concepcion and Oster in the middle of the diamond. They will concede the run, unless it's a sharp one-hopper. Then they may try it home.
Out of play. 2 strikes to count on Dusty Baker. 1980, game-winning RBI, 17. .503 slugging percentage. Dr. Scald, he calls himself, because he can scald a horsehide. He got him. Big strikeout for Soto.
O'Mary sets up outside. Let's see. Looked like a sinker. He pulled the string on it, took something off. He went one time 2 years ago, was strictly a power pitcher. Hard fastball, hard slider, and he has learned one of the best change of paces in all of baseball, which makes that power stuff look even better.
And he had it in a great spot, low and outside. It was out of the strike zone, but he had that luxury since he was way ahead of Baker. And here's Garvey.
Look out.
Moves him back. Ball one. Garvey hitting .265, 3 home runs, 28 runs batted in. One ball, 1 strike.
Garvey in his 876th consecutive ball game. Russell at third. That puts him 6th on the all-time list. Of course, Lou Gehrig, never be broken. 2,130 consecutive ball games.
Misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Garvey has had 14 RBIs in his last 19 games. Russell's at third, 2 outs. Good fastball.
Well, for those teams who use the radar gun, and Cincinnati does on occasion, they have clocked this guy 93, 94.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bill Russell is at third. Top of the first. Full count now. In his last 18 innings, Soto has struck out 16. At least 17 out of 19 innings now with Baker strikeout here in the first. Line drive, a foul ball. Just barely foul. Curveball was up and Garvey was out in front of it. Russell heads back to third. That's the yardstick that you use on the pitcher. How good a pitcher is he with a man on third and less than 2 outs? With that situation, Soto struck out Dusty Baker and now has a full count on Garvey. He walked him. Brings up Ron Say.
One of the hottest hitters in baseball right here. Say has adjusted his swing. He is not pulling the ball as much. Well, he carried this ball club with his bat in the good part of May, late April.
In May, Tony, 7 home runs and 19 runs batted in. 8 home runs his last 19 games. That's how hot he is.
I think it's interesting, Joe. I was talking to Ronnie before the game. Said, why, after all these years, did you change? Used to be a strict pull hitter. He said, well, I got tired of hitting line drives right at guys on the left side of the diamond. Getting more experience, I'm hitting the opposite way more.
Popped him up. Ray Knight says, I'll take it. He does, and Soto in Cincinnati gets out of the inning. The Dodgers do not score in the top half of the first. We go into the bottom half. It'll be Collins, Griffey, and Concepcion against sensational Fernando Valenzuela.
Is Gillette Foamy thick and rich enough to restrain this rushing roller coaster? No. Is Foamy thick and rich enough to support this lovely lady? No. Is Foamy thick and rich enough to hold up this husky hiker? No.
But if you want a clean, close shave, it's more than thick and rich enough.
Now, get a free Afro razor with Gillette Foamy. How do you get around in all kinds of weather?
Escort and Arriva.
VW and Arriva. Aries and Arriva. Honda and Arriva. Skylark and Arriva.
Goodyear Arriva, an all-season radio, a steel-belted radio, an advanced radio designed for traction all year round. Even its footprint tells you it's different. How do you get around in all kinds of weather?
Oh, a limousine, diamonds, and Arriva.
Arriva, only from Goodyear.
Be ringside with tomorrow's champions as 18-year-old knockout artist Tony Ayala takes on veteran campaigner Pat Hallisey. Plus, Boston's Danny Long battles the undefeated Alex Ramos tomorrow.
You're getting every possible view you can of a sensational Valenzuela. Tony, I like the one in the bottom half on the right side because you can really see how he hides that ball and looks away. He never looks at the batter. It seems that way.
He is not a one-dimensional pitcher. We have found that from everyone we've talked to. It is not just a screwball with him, and we'll talk more as this game goes along.
Dave Collins will lead it off in playing right field for Cincinnati, and Ken Griffey, who's in center field. Dave Concepcion batting third as shortstop. There's Collins. Cleanup hitter is the left fielder George Foster. Johnny Bench at first base. Ray Knight at third base. Ron Oster bats seventh rather, at second base, and Michael Berry the catcher, and then Soto. There was the screwball, and you saw it break down and away. You'll see that happen a lot this afternoon. It's ball one.
That was his hard screwball. When he gets to a strikeout situation, he takes something off it. Slower one.
One out. Right at Steve Garvey. Collins is out. I think one of the distracting things about Valenzuela that helps him is his motion. He seems to look up at the bill of his cap as he starts his delivery, closes his eyes, turns his head, and if you're married and got a couple kids at home and you're in the batter's box, you'd like to say, I'm over here, Fernando. Look at me, please.
The motion you are talking about is exactly the same for every pitch he throws. The two kinds of fastballs, two curves, two screwballs.
Ball one. Everything that could possibly be written and said about a player has been written and said about Valenzuela. There was the screwball again.
Joe, to me, that is the difference between an ordinary screwball pitcher and a guy like Valenzuela. He throws it to left-handed hitters, which some say don't do it because it is breaking into
Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. Look at him. Looking at his cap.
No, he's looking at the man who was sort of talking about the big Dodger in the sky.
Oh, that was a great shot, guys. Camera crew, great, because it showed exactly it. If you can. Oh, that was great. 2 balls and 1 strike. He looks at the bill of his cap, turns his head, and closes his eyes. How are you going to hit a guy like that, Foster? Foster Brooks is here with us. Strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Foster sang the national anthem here and gave our lineups. Getting ready for his big golf tournament in Louisville on Monday, a one-day tournament. You good folks down in the Louisville area, I know you enjoy it. We're going to miss it this time. We can't make it. We make it other years. It's a dandy. Foul tip. Got him.
Slider. That he will throw for left-handed hitters. If you broke down Valenzuela's pitches, screwball is number 1, obviously. Here's the slider to Griffey. He had thrown him a couple of screwballs that he fouled into the Cincinnati dugout. And that's what we meant when he is not one-dimensional. He has a curve, slider, 2 kinds of fastballs, and 2 screwballs.
Watch his eyes as he looks up at the bill of his cap. There they go.
Look how he hides the ball right here, too. The leg, glove in your face, and elbow.
Dave Concepcion said to us before the game he was going to take the first pitch in hopes that it was a screwball so he could see how big it would break and how hard he throws it. And Dave is usually a first ball hitter, but he said he would take the first pitch. Let's see if he remembers. Taken all the way, and there it was.
Concepcion still leading the league in RBIs with 32.
Fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I asked Jerry Royce, having a good year himself for the Dodgers, what impressed him most about Valenzuela. He said his control. He said, I've never seen anything like it for a kid 20.
Line foul. I think one of the big reasons, Tony, he's 20 years old on the birth certificate, but he's always played against older players. And that kind of competition, I know I went through it, you went through it. You're really not overawed by the age factor like you see some of the youngsters who come up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Foster, you want to do a couple innings?
I don't think so, Joe, because you know how well I do it in NBC, the way they do things. They're all ask me to do it every week, and I just don't have to try it.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count.
Was that Fernando Valenzuela talking, or was that Foster?
That was Foster Brooks.
Okay.
The Louisville Flash. Foster, thank you very much for the lineups. Good luck on the tournament Monday. We'll be there next year. Okay.
Thank you, Foster.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Another thing they talk about Valenzuela, he is an excellent fielder. When he gets the ball, he knows what to do with it. Has an excellent move to first base, and he can hit. What other category is there? I mean, what else is there that prevent him from being a superstar?
Deep to left field, way back. Baker makes the play. Well hit, but not deep enough. 1, 2, 3 for Cincinnati. We complete 1 inning of baseball here. There is no score. It'll be Guerrero, Sosi, and Thomas for the Dodgers in the second.
Introducing the revolutionary twin action shaving system engineered to outperform twin blades. The new Norelco Rotattract razor. Inside 3 floating heads, Rotattract works like twin blades to grip hair. Raise it up, then razor it off hundreds of times a second for a shave that's twin blade close without a nick or cut. The new twin action Norelco Rotattract razor, cord and rechargeable. Twin blade closeness, but no gotcha.
Now, the luxury extras you want are even more affordable with Ford's VIPs. VIP Granada. Order power steering and get options sticker priced at over $300 at no extra charge, including split bench seats, tilt wheel, and more. VIP Fairmont with up to $448 off the sticker price of a special options package that includes 2-tone paint, flip-up roof, convenience console, and more. VIP Fairmont, VIP Granada from Ford.
I can tell a real cowboy from the drugstore kind, clean across Texas. The way he wears his hat will tell you. And the beer that you drink's a surefire giveaway, too. A lot of us drink light beer from Miller. We love the taste, but we surely appreciate that it's got a third less calories than the regular kind. You see, you don't want to be filled up when you're out there punching doggies. Ain't that right, cowboy? I didn't punch that doggie.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Take a look at Friday's scores. Dodgers took 12 innings to beat Cincinnati 4-2. Dusty Baker had a home run and 3 RBIs. Giants beat Houston 6-3. Art Howe extended his hitting streak to 21 games, longest in the majors. Padres 5, Atlanta 2, 5th loss in a row for the Braves. Mets beat the Cardinals 9-3. Zachary a 5-hitter. Pittsburgh beat Philadelphia 3-1. Pascual Perez his first major league win. Bunted foul by Guerrero, strike 1. Montreal 6 and Chicago 3. And Herman Franks, we talked to him before the game, the new general manager of the Cubs, replacing Bob Kennedy. Well, Herman taking on he had the job as manager, now the general manager. The American League, Cleveland 7, Yankees 3. Blyleven was the winner. Baltimore 4, Detroit 2. Baltimore, they won 9 out of 10, 18 of their last 21, and Singleton had his 9th home run of the year last night. Boston 7, Milwaukee 3, 5th straight for the Red Sox, and they snapped the 6-game winning streak of the Brewers. Minnesota beat Kansas City 7-0. First win for the new manager Billy Gardner, a coach who replaced Johnny Goro. Oakland 6, Toronto 2. The A's snapped an 8-game losing streak. Chicago 9, California 5. Luzinski had 2 home runs in that game. Popped up in a short right field. Collins says, "I'll take it," and he does. That's the second game Luzinski's had 2 home runs in.
Against Toronto.
But Guerrero is out. Mike Socia is the batter. Socia, who's done a good job catching Valenzuela. In fact, he's done a good job catching, period. He has put Yeager and Ferguson both on the bench.
Speaking a little Spanish helps him with Valenzuela immensely.
Down the right field line, it is drifting foul. 1 strike. Socia has 1 home run, 4 runs batted in, hitting at .261.
Manny Mota, coach now for the Dodgers, pinch hitter, of course. Past years talks about Socia, what a tough kid is. He said, in all my years, I've never seen a catcher block home plate like Socia does. Said he literally wiped 2 guys out up in Montreal, put that foot down, ball and runner arriving at the same time. He will not give ground.
They've got a lot of guys. Ed Ott is like that.
Oh, yeah.
Gary Carter. 1-1 pitch. It's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mario Soto has won his last 2 games, both complete games. He has struck out 16 in his last 18 innings. 17 out of 19 now. He got 1 in the first.
Soto last year was used, I think it's difficult to do it, Joe, but he was using short relief, long relief, and then he started. Pitched just about 190 innings, and yet he was 3rd in the league in strikeouts. Tell you what kind of power pitcher he is. Recall a few years back down at spring training in Tampa when Sparky Anderson had him change his grip on different occasions on the fastball. Go with the seams and make it sink a little more, and he'll throw the one across the seams and ride it.
Foul out of play. When you talk about strikeouts, Tony, in the league, Valenzuela leads with 75. Carlton has 73, and Soto has 54. So you're looking at 2 of the top 3 working this afternoon. He's getting his cuts. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Baseball fans, I just want to remind you, we're going to be doing the College World Series. And you'll be seeing some of the graduates in this game. Kenny Landreau from Arizona State, for example. Oster. Easy play. 2 up and 2 down.
See, that'll be a Sports World presentation, won't it, on what, June 7th? Going to be fun.
We'll be in Omaha. Tony and I will be in Omaha to do the College World Series June 7th on Sports World. Here is Darryl Thomas. Thomas, the super blowout patch for these Dodgers, can play in the infield, the outfield, has even caught some games for them. Wherever they spring a leak, this guy's there to patch it up.
Well, he's playing second because Davey Lopes has a pretty badly sprained ankle. He got it sliding into third base. Jammed it against the bag.
They were leading 5-0 when he stole third, and one of the Met pitchers really laid a line on him that's created just a little bit of bad blood. 2 balls and no strikes. Said to him while he was laying there, 5-run lead, and you're trying to steal third base. I hope you're hurt for a long time. Shouldn't have said that. Davey Lopes is going to steal everything, including his fillings, the next time he plays against him.
Why not? They don't tell a home run hitter when there's a 10-0 lead, hey, stop hitting home runs, do they?
I agree. But, you know, I asked Davey about that, Tony, as we look at Darryl Thomas, 2 balls and no strikes. Slow. Davey says there's a reason. He said because it's a little guy who always steals, and even a home run hitter doesn't have control to where he can hit the home run at any time, but the base stealer has control, and that's what makes him mad, because I can steal at any time I want to. 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. Valenzuela's coming up. Let's listen to the reaction when he's announced. He's 9 for 27 as a batter, a .333 average, slugging at .333. He has driven in 2 runs. Darrell Thomas is on at first. Draws a throw.
He has become a national hero in Mexico, which is obvious. In fact, the radio broadcaster in the Spanish-speaking network, Jaime Jarin, says they added 6 new stations in Mexico just for today's game because he is pitching. They have 29 stations.
Jaime will be coming over here, and we'll be listening to how they describe screwball and fastball in their Spanish broadcast. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. What an impact he's made, this young left-hander, Fernando Valenzuela.
Comes from a big family. In fact, at one time, 12 kids, one time an entire team in his hometown of Navajoa, Sonora, Mexico, was Valenzuela's, uncles or brothers.
2 balls and 1 strike. Of the 12 children, 7 are boys. Lasorda told kind of a warm story about this young man. Lasorda said he was out jogging, as Soto and O'Berry discussed it. He was out jogging, and 2 young Hispanic-speaking joggers joined him, about 12 and 14, and they recognized him. Mr. Lasorda, my father bought a radio. We can hear Fernando Saturday. Become a big hero. 3-1 to count on Valenzuela. Now Johnny Bench is going in to say something to him.
Valenzuela did not finish high school. He wanted to go into farming, help his folks out, but his main goal, one he's reached now, he wanted to be a major league pitcher. Joe Brito, the scout that discovered him, and they tell me now there were scouts all over the place in Mexico looking for another Valenzuela. Mike Brito, excuse me.
Right back to Soto. Nice play. He gets him. So that ends the inning. Nice play by Mario Soto. We go to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. There is no score. Dodgers nothing, Cincinnati nothing, as we look at that replay. And he really was very agile getting off that mound. It'll be Foster, Bench, and Knight against Valenzuela.
We play in our pool while he works on his, because we use HTH while he adds chlorinators and algicides plus shark treatments. Save time and money with HTH. It's my primary chlorinator, algicide, and shock treatment all in one. HTH, the best seller among pool professionals. Spend less on your pool. You'll get more out of it. Can opener!
At Transamerica, we're out to make your life a little brighter with loans from Transamerica Financial.
Last call for flight 106.
With low-cost international flights from Transamerica Airlines. And even with machines from Transamerica de Laval that help light up whole cities.
First-rate service at a fair price. Transamerica.
Deadline, Saturday, May 30th at Sears. The heavy-duty shock is on sale. The shock that helps give you comfort and control, now only $5.99 each. Save 40%. And while they last, 40% off at Sears. Sears steel-belted radials, the tire with the heritage of the tough roads, at our largest dollar savings ever, 40% off. For great automotive values, you can count on Sears.
Combine martial art karate with the power and flurries of heavyweight boxing, and you get the exciting PKA Championship bout. Plus, it's the incredible brute strength of the world's strongest women in the World Powerlifting Championships tomorrow on NBC Sports World.
Well, you're looking by his own description, the resident flake on the left, Jay Johnstone, and the phenom, Fernando Valenzuela. It's hard to describe what he has meant. You look at his statistics. In 6 departments, he is first. Wins, earned run average, innings, strikeouts, completed games, shutouts.
And he goes up to a place like Montreal in the cold weather and draws over 40,000 people and a 50,000 gated home. He's doing what Fredericks did not too many years back. Every place he went, the fans came out.
He'll be facing George Foster. No score, bottom of the second. Foster with 8 home runs, 27 runs batted in, hitting .278.
Slow curve. I don't think that was a screwball.
I thought it was a screwball,
Did you?
Tony. Two strikes. Now what will he do? 2 strikes on George Foster, the leadoff man. In the bottom of the second, there is no score. Right back up the middle. He turned over a screwball. Safe.
Screwball, look at Socha, where he sets up, right on the black, and Valenzuela hit the target, may have slowed it down a little bit. Darryl Thomas circles the ball, snap throw. Eddie Montague at first base. Understand it. Eddie Montague's dad, feeling a lot better, maybe looking in today. We're very happy for him. He spent a lot of years in baseball. Ball fooled Valenzuela. Wouldn't hit that hard off the end of the bat from Foster.
Yeah. Gets by Garvey. Foster will head for second.
Foster hurt his leg on that play. He must have hurt something or jammed his heel when he hit the bag trying to beat that ball out. Valenzuela has picked off 6 runners this year. 3 have gotten a second because of late throws. Larry Starr will now come out, the trainer, as will McNamara, to look and see what happened to Foster.
So it's an error on Valenzuela as Larry Starr and Foster and McNamara have a meeting.
Looking at his calf or his heel. If it's the heel, it's something he did when he made that last lunge and jump to try and beat out that ball, which he did. It's an injury that we saw last year. Remember Cedeno?
Cedeno.
He tore his ankle up so severely. Still bothers him this year, had massive surgery.
So now Johnny Bench is up there, nobody out. Foster's at second base, no score. We're in the second inning. He'll be trying to go the opposite field. Wait for that screwball and take it that way if he can.
Gotta believe Valenzuela trying to jam him in tight. Let's see. Setting up inside.
Ball 1. Ball 2. So far, as we look at Foster at second base, Valenzuela has been averaging 2.2 walks per 9 innings. A count of 2 balls and no strikes on Johnny Bench. Ball 3. His pitching coach, Ron Paranowski, says he'll throw 50% or better screwballs. There's a screwball right there. Walked him. So we have Foster at second, Bench is at first. As we look at the Dodger bench, Monty Basgall, Manny Mota, and Tom Lasorda. Ray Knight, the batter. Knight hitting .254, has 4 home runs, 12 runs batted in. He's got a 9-game hitting streak going. He's 17 for 43, a .395 average in that streak.
You'd think it's early to bunt, but Say is cheating up at third base. Valenzuela pitches so many low-run ball games, his earned run average, well, way below 1, that McNamara may decide to bunt him. May.
It's a strike. Screwball. One strike. Foster at second. Bench is at first.
Dodger defense has been very good behind Valenzuela this year. They've come up with some big plays. Of course, he throws the ball where he wants to, and he's easy to position yourself behind.
Line foul. He also is a fairly quick worker, and by that it keeps the guys on their toes. You know it, Tony, how infield is. A guy like Stanhouse, for example, who fiddled around in 3 and 2, would take 4 or 5 steps away from you.
Well, for a starting pitcher, if you're playing behind him, it's the difference between getting up on your toes and being ready. 150 and 175 pitches a game as opposed to maybe 100. It takes less energy, and your concentration is better behind a guy like this.
2 strikes on Ray Knight. He doesn't fool around as we look at Foster at second, bench at first. Valenzuela with a 2-strike count, still near that strike zone. Socia says something to him.
You know what he's looking for right now? He's got 2 things to go to. He can bust him inside, go strike out, or the screwball outside. If you're a hitter, what are you looking for?
With 2 strikes, he better not be looking for anything but the baseball.
The hitter's hung up right between, though, fastball or screwball.
Fastball. Missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He also throws a pretty good sinker, which has gotten him some double play balls during the course of this season.
The Cubs have taken an early lead, 2-0. Herman Franks, the new general manager over there. Russell misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Russell against Burris. End of 1. Chicago 2, Montreal nothing. Boston 1, Milwaukee nothing. End of 1. Schmidt, the young catcher, a home run for the Red Sox. Baltimore 2, Detroit nothing. DeCinces a 2-run homer, bottom of the 2nd. Here's where he wants it to happen on 2 and 2. He doesn't want to run that count to 3 and 2. Here's his pitch of decision right here. He's got to throw a strike in a good spot. He got him. Screwball turned it over, took something off.
That was the hard one. He throws 3, they say 2 speeds, slow and fast, but I believe that Valenzuela and that screwball about 5 different speeds, and I wonder if he really knows until he releases the ball which one it's going to be.
He was way out in front of that ball, Tony. Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek here at Riverfront Stadium. Michael Berry, the catcher, with 1 out and base runners at second and at first. Foster is at second. Johnny Bench is at first. Ron Oster, rather. I had O'Berry up there. He was the on-deck batter. Foul ball.
Oster's been swinging the bat well, too. He's the kind of kid, Oster, who does not overswing, gets a piece of the ball, uses the whole field. That might give a guy like Valenzuela trouble. Nobody's given him much trouble this year. Schmidt beat him with a home run. Spire hit a home run. I think he shows control when Spire hit the home run off him. Valenzuela came back and threw 19 consecutive strikes.
Oster has hit in 20 of his last 23 games. And he fouls this one off, and it's a quick 2-strike count. We'll keep you up to date on that Boston-Milwaukee game, as we will most of the games, all the games. His inning started when Foster beat out an infield hit. Valenzuela tried to pick him off, threw it past Garvey. Foster went to second, looked like he may have hurt his leg. The trainer came out, but he stayed in the game. Bench has walked. Knight has struck out. And here's Oster. Misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You've used the word misses about 6 times with him already in his first, well, not even 2 complete innings. When he misses like by an inch, and that's all.
One-two pitch. He got him. That's the 3rd strikeout and the 2nd out in this inning, and that's what he's been doing. When he needs a strikeout, he gets it. When he needs a double play, he gets it. Watch this last strikeout.
Check to see if it's a screwball or not. No, it's not. It's a curveball, and a darn good one. Darn good one. He throws a hard curve and a slow curve. Said it before, we'll say it again. He is not a one-pitch pitcher. And he has command of them all.
I'll tell you, that delivery helps him quite a bit, too. Michael Berry's the batter. Very distracting when that pitcher's not looking at you. 1 ball, no strikes. There's 2 things that distract you as a batter. One of them is a pitcher with glasses who the first thing he does takes them off and wipes them and blinks. That scares you. And then the other guy is a guy like Valenzuela who doesn't look at you when he's throwing the ball. Two balls and no strikes.
Well, Louis Tion from the right side has a screwball, a variety of pitches. He did that, looked away out to center field, looked at people in the stands. Tion pitched in Mexico before Darrell Johnson called him back after everybody thought he was through. I wonder if the kid saw him going up. He couldn't have, could he? Who knows?
People believe Abner Doubleday saw Tion. He's been around a while. Bouncing ball. He should be out of it. Darrell Thomas to Garvey, and Valenzuela is out of it. After the first 2 runners get on, he gets them 1, 2, 3. We complete 2 innings of baseball. It's the Dodgers nothing, Cincinnati nothing, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Sunday, it's a special presentation of Disney's movie classic, Pollyanna. Then, on an all-star special, vote for your favorite sexy men who rate a 10 on NBC.
Well, Sheriff, who did it? Who changed the Olympia beer label?
Well, I got a hunch it's the artisans.
The ones rumored to make the artesian brewing water that makes Olympia taste so good.
Yes, sir, and I personally ordered an APB to round up any known and suspected artisans.
And how many do you have in custody?
Well, not a one. But that makes me suspect them all that much more. Because they ain't got nothing to hide. Why are they hiding?
Pulsar brought America its first digital quartz watch. Now, Pulsar goes a beat beyond with an exciting collection of quality quartz watches. Pulsar technology keeps the prices dramatically low and adds quartz accuracy that goes beyond any other kind of watch. Unbeatable quality at unbeatable prices. Pulsar Quartz, always a beat beyond in technology, in value.
Pulsar quartz watches available at J.B. Robinson Jewelers.
Be a happy cooker, get a happy cooker. It's America's best built barbecue. Be a happy cooker, get a happy cooker. It's America's best built barbecue. Be a happy cooker, get a happy cooker. It's America's best built barbecue. America's best built barbecue.
Hair transplants, Saturday at 6 on Q.
Well, Bob Hope will have a birthday like all of us this year, and with a Bob Hope birthday, it's a Bob Hope All-Star birthday party. That's a 2-hour special, so that means a great night of entertainment. And let me tell you, Soto throws a strike. Some of the people will be there. Elizabeth Taylor, Mickey Rooney, George C. Scott, Brooke Shields, Sugar Ray Leonard, Glenn Campbell, Marie Osmond. So help us wish Bob Hope a very happy 78th birthday. That's this Monday night on NBC. Bob Hope's birthday, a Bob Hope special, a great night. 2 quick strikes. Ray Knight, big hop. Russell is out. Brings up Kenny Landreau. Jaime Jarrín, who does the Dodger broadcast, has walked into our booth. And we're going to let him do the bottom half of the third so you can get an idea. But Jaime, how do you describe, for example, how do you call a screwball in Spanish?
We have 2 words for a screwball. We have a tornillo, that's screw, and also we call tirabuzón, corkscrew.
I like the corkscrew better.
Tirabuzón.
Tirabuzón. I wouldn't mind being called out on a tirabuzón. But a tornillo, that sounds like knuckleball. Ugly
That's mariposa.
Landreau fouls it off. What do you call knuckleball?
A mariposa.
Butterfly, isn't
Butterfly, yes.
Butterfly, mariposa.
That's what you call it. You ought to hear what I call it.
Papillon.
That's the French-Canadian calls it the papillon. I call it a rotten pitch that sends catches back to the screen. 1 strike on Landreau, and there's strike 2. Here's the young man, Arizona State, talking about the College World Series on June 7th. Bob Horner will graduate from there. Jim Brock is the coach. Bobby Winkle's there. Ron Fraser, Miami. Rod Dado. We're looking forward to the College World Series on Sports World on the 7th of June. Landreau was the California Angels' #1 draft choice in June of '76. He hit .413. He led Arizona State to the College World Series that year. 2-strike pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You've added a lot of stations since Mr. Valenzuela came on the scene, huh?
Yes, we have now 29 stations covering the games in Mexico.
About how many Spanish-speaking people would that be?
I will say, well, at least 50 million in Mexico and 3 million in California.
Wow.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Did you know him before he came to the Dodgers?
No, I met him when he came to the Dodgers 1979.
No score. Kenny Landreau. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. High, 3-2. Has all this surprised you?
Yes, I never thought that something like this would happen. You know, I have been through the Sandy Koufax days and Drysdales and Maury Wills, but nothing like Valenzuela.
Easy out. Johnny Bench takes it himself.
And Jaime, with your broadcasting charge, you've taken on another job. You've become his official interpreter at all the press conferences.
Yes, it has been my pleasure to go with him because he doesn't speak a word of English, really. He understands a little bit, but he can't speak at all.
Is he thinking about what he's going to be doing, or is he just relaxing right now?
I think he's just relaxing.
He's a very low-key kid, isn't he?
Very low, extremely shy, extremely shy. He comes from a very humble family. But when he came with the Dodgers last year, he spoke just yes and no, yes and no. Now he's opening a little bit.
Bouncing ball, Ray Knight, big hop. It's 1-2-3 for the Dodgers, so we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It'll be Soto, Collins, and Griffey. There's no score, and you be sure to join us. Jaime Jarrín will be describing Valenzuela in Spanish.
We do one thing like no one else can do. Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right. You're America's favorite bite and delight. Delicious fried chicken, we do it right for you.
Can I have a little bite? I don't have the drumstick. Nope.
No other fried chicken tastes so right.
That's good.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
This is an obstacle course and a test of maneuverability. These new machines are engineered and built by Honda for remarkable handling. They're lightweight and compact. They maneuver close to edges and have powerful vacuum action. So now there's a 17-inch mower that can go places and do things most mowers can't. The Honda HR-17. Test drive one soon.
Weeds pop up in the strangest places. That's why Ortho introduced Cleanup to kill weeds and grasses wherever they pop up, without harming the soil. Weeds in the patio? Clean it up. Grasses along fences? Clean it up. In walks? Clean it up. In planting beds? Even under shrubs? Kill weeds and grasses wherever they pop up with Ortho Cleanup. At Ortho, our concern for your landscape is always growing.
Tomorrow on Sports World, and what you're seeing there, that's that title bout, that's really a rematch. Oak Tree Edwards against Ross Scott. Man, Edwards beat to take that crown, so it's a grudge match. Be no holds barred in that one, I'll tell you. And then we're going to have some of the world's strongest women compete in the Women's World Powerlifting Championship tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time on NBC Sports World. And Mario Soto takes the first pitch low, and Jaime Jarrín will describe Valenzuela now the way his audience will be hearing it.
Thank you, Joe. El lanzamiento es bajo abierto. Fernando Valenzuela en el montículo tratando de convertirse en el primer ganador de 9 juegos.
Now, he's not doing anything. What did you say?
He's trying to become the first 9-game winner.
Ah.
Pitcher contra pitcher se impulsa. El lanzamiento es true ball, alto encerrado. The pitch high and inside.
Good.
Why don't you say in English? Better, yours sounds better in English than I.
No, but yours is much more romantic. I always feel like I see Ricardo Montalban or something when you're talking.
Listo el pitcher, el lanzamiento, bajo, base por bolas. Mario Soto se encamina a la inicial.
Would you say he is upset right now the way he walked off the mound?
I would say so. He must be a little upset because he walked the pitcher, you know, opening the inning.
He got in trouble in the second inning after an infield single, an error, and then he walked bench, but he got out of it with 2 strikeouts and the ground out. His delivery is so smooth, Jaime, and he looks up in the air with those eyes.
Yes, that's one thing that surprises everybody, his coolness in the mound, especially when he gets in trouble, like the time that he pitched in Houston against Sutton. With men on second and third, he was always in trouble, but he came through. Sobre el plato. El tirabuzón.
That was that corkscrew jobby.
That's it. The screwball. Hombre en primera. No hay outs. Valenzuela en el montículo. Leyendo las señas de Sosha. Bateando Collins. Se impulsa. Lanzamiento. Encerrado. Se le pasa la pelota a Sosha. No puede avanzar Mario.
Soto couldn't find the ball. I think another player other than the pitcher might have been down at second base. Watch Collins. It's a breaking ball down and in, a curveball. Sosha gets away from it, and I believe Soto is blocked out right there. Good recovery by Sosha. He really pounced on that ball, didn't he?
He thought he caught it, though, Tony. And then when he realized he didn't have it, he took off.
Collins bateando, sacó línea a la primera base en su primer turno al bate. Hombre en primera, listo Fernando, lanzamiento, bola rápida, baja. Fastball, low.
Rápida, fastball.
Yes. And, you know, he has a little over average, his fastball. But he has been striking out some batters with a fastball, like Mike Ivey in Houston. He struck him out twice with a fastball because they are waiting for the screwball. Listo Fernando. Lanzamiento, batazo por tercera, el pingüino con la pelota. El tiro a segunda, abierto el tiro, le toca a Mario cuando llega.
The second base umpire, Randy Marsh, yesterday was his first major league game, had a tough call because Say just flipped the ball over to Darryl Thomas, threw him off the bag. Look at this. He may have been off the bag. Marsh still has not called the out signal. He waited till he was tagged, and now Marsh makes the call. Say gave him a little la-di-da. The ball drifted on Darryl Thomas. Tough call for the youngster, Marsh, who lives right across the river, Covington, Kentucky. That's something to destroy on that kid.
That was a good piece of umpiring because you could see he was ready to call him safe.
You bet. He did not call it too soon.
El tiro esa primera. Va a batear Ken Griffey. He has a very good move to first, Joe. He showed that in Houston. Otro tira primera. Listo Valenzuela, ya se impulsa, el lanzamiento es abierto intencional.
Pitch out.
Intentionally.
Intentional. All right. What has surprised you the most about Valenzuela?
His coolness.
Coolness.
Especially when he's in trouble.
Well, he has an idea in this situation with 1 out, 1 ball, no strikes, that Collins, who's a pretty good base stealer, may be on the move, and Valenzuela is throwing over, trying to hold him close.
Sosha's thrown 11 out of 38, trying to steal. There he goes.
El tiro a segunda, malo el tiro, muy tarde. Base robada para Dave Collins.
Valenzuela, even though he's got a good move to first, he is a little bit slow to home plate with that high leg kick. Collins guessed right. Good pitch to throw on, but Sosha bounces the ball in the turf. No contest, not even close.
One nice thing about Valenzuela, Joe, is the fact how he has reacted to the press. You know, all the questions and press conferences around the league is amazing. I have seen him only once really nervous. We were in Philadelphia, and we had a press conference at 6:30. And I went down, and he said, let's go 6:30. When we walked into the room, there were at least 150 people there.
Oh, brother.
And all the lights going on, the cameras. Lanzamiento es alto, cantado el strike. And he was really shook up. He stopped it and took my hand and said, Jaime, what is this? I said, well, not press conference. He said, I don't know what I'm going to say. So I told him, just take it easy, relax, listen to the question, don't anticipate any questions. Take your time, I will translate, and you answer the way that you have been doing. And after the second question, he was fine, smiling, and everybody was happy. That is the only time that I have seen him really nervous.
Well, he's got another chance right here to get nervous with base runners at first and second and one out, and Concepcion up there.
He has been unusually wild. First inning, he breezed along. He was no balls, 2 strikes very quickly on several hitters, but he's been behind second inning, and now this he's walked 2 in the third.
Interesting to see if Davey jumps on the first pitch now, because he took the first pitch his first time up. He's a first ball hitter. He wanted to measure the screwball, and just want to see what he does this time.
Concepcion bateando. Hombres en primera y segunda. Listo el pitcher. Se impulsa. Lanzamiento. Batazo a medias por segunda. Allá está tocándole el tiro a primera. Doble play.
That was a bad piece of base running by Griffey, who just allowed himself to get tagged by Thomas. Tony, watch this.
He thought he could beat it. Darryl Thomas made a good play and a good off-balance throw. Good call by Marsh again, the double play.
So at the end of 3, no score, nothing.
You don't need a haircut, Jim. You need Brill Cream.
Brill Cream?
Sure. Your hair is short enough, but it's a mess.
It sure is.
Brill Cream's so concentrated, just a little dab keeps hair healthy looking and in control all day. Look, I'll put a little dab of Brill Cream here. Nothing here. See? Even with the hair blower, the Brill Cream side doesn't fly around. Without Brill Cream, hair flies around. Terrific.
You're right. With Brill Cream, a little dab will do you.
How do you top America's most popular sports car? Top it off with our Mustang Hot Top. Get over $500 off the regular sticker price when you buy a special options package, including this exciting T-roof. Get a special deal on Mustang final roofs, too. They are new special value buys on flip-up sunroofs and the classy Mustang carriage roof. Get great deals at your Ford dealer on Mustang Hot Tops.
When I'm playing ball, I don't care how much I sweat. It's part of the game.
Oh, rap.
But off the field, I want to feel nice and dry, and I want to smell nice. That's why I use Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant. It's the wide stick, effective protection with more dryness to help fight wetness. And it goes on dry so you can get dressed right away. So get on the stick, the wide stick.
Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant by Menace.
On an all-new 2-hour Hill Street Blues, tempers explode.
You're a drunk, a user.
And a stakeout backfires. Tuesday on NBC.
Jay Johnstone on the left, Rick Monday on the right. All the Dodgers have a new idol. Oh, it's Lasorda. I thought it was going to be Valenzuela. Lasorda's old hat. No pun intended.
Monday, Jay Johnstone, Jerry Royce, they got quite a group in that clubhouse. Garvey takes outside, ball 1. Garvey walked his first time up. Unofficially, after 3 innings, over half of Valenzuela's pitches have been screwballs.
Just 2 base hits in the ball game. Russell a double in the first. Infield single by Foster on Valenzuela.
Well hit to left field, no doubt about it. 1-0 Dodgers. Steve Garvey, home run number 4. There they are, the Dodgers there to greet him, the high fives, and did he ever touch one off, Tony?
The baby's on the second floor. Look at that head down, the arm extension. Steve looks like he's backed off the plate a little bit. They may have been jabbing him.
Ray Knight, nice play. Ron Say is out.
Think he could have done that on dirt and grass, try to dribble that ball down and have it come right back up?
I tend to doubt it. So the Dodgers have taken a 1-0 lead on the home run by Garvey. Garvey was a consistent man with the home runs. 77, he had 33. 78, he had 21 home runs. 79, he had 28. 80, he had 26. Guerrero, the right fielder, flying to right his first time up. 1-0 Dodgers lead. 4th inning. Ball 1.
This is the kid Guerrero that some who have seen him play in the minor leagues and last year with the Dodgers say his actions are a lot like Willie Mays, especially in the outfield. In center field last year.
Mario Soto. 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Guerrero.
Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Mario Soto. Not a very big guy. Not a very big guy to throw as hard as he does. Weighs about 180 or so.
Right field. Collins should make the play. 2 outs. Guerrero is out. It brings up Mike Scioscia, who bounced out second to first his first time up.
Soto last year, you've got a staff here with Cincinnati, of course, with Seaver and Pastore, who's come on strong in the last couple of years. But Soto was the named pitcher of the year by the baseball writers here in town.
There's a strike. Soto is listed at 6 feet even, 185 pounds. Born July 12, 1956. Birthplace, Bani, Dominican Republic. Mario Soto. Oh, he went after a top limb. 2 quick strikes on Mike Scioscia.
His delivery, Soto's, is not as smooth. Watch, he puts what appears to be much more effort into his pitches than Valenzuela. But he gets it all together right there with a push-off. Ooh. Always amazes me the way the arm is so contorted.
Oster to bench. Ends the inning. But the Dodgers on a home run by Steve Garvey have taken a 1-0 lead as we go into the bottom half of the 4th inning. And it'll be George Foster, Johnny Bench, and Ray Knight for Cincinnati in the 4th. They trail by 1.
You know, one of the best things about coming to America was that I got to try American beers, and I tried them all. The one I like best, light beer from Miller. It's got a third less calories than the regular beer. It's less filling, and it really tastes great. That's why I tell my friends from Mexico, when you come to America, drink light beer, but don't drink the water.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
We're Exxon. We're Bill Welch, whose people are finding new ways to discover and produce oil and gas. We're Tony Wong, testing the effect of Arctic ice on offshore oil operations. We're Tony Brown, making computer maps of promising oil areas. We're Lyle Finn, developing a new concept in offshore oil platforms for deep waters. We're Bob Brovey, using satellite photographs to spot new areas which may yield energy. We're more than 100,000 people working on energy. We're Exxon.
Here's how to save some money on your homeowner's insurance and get some peace of mind, too. If you want to protect your home and family against fire and burglary, State Farm wants to offer you some encouragement. Install deadbolt locks, a smoke alarm, and a fire extinguisher, and get 5% off your homeowner's premium. With State Farm's Home Alert program, you'll save some money on your insurance and maybe something a lot more important.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Combine martial art karate with the power and flurries of heavyweight boxing, and you get the exciting PKA Championship bout. Plus, it's the incredible brute strength of the world's strongest women in the World Powerlifting Championships tomorrow on NBC Sports World.
The man of the hour, Fernando Valenzuela. You're looking at him from all angles.
Well, he still reminds me, not because he's left-handed and throws a screwball, but the delivery looks just like Luis Arroyo.
Luis Arroyo, first saw him with the Cardinals, became a great reliever for the Yankees. Pops him up, took something off. Baker makes the play, battling his son. You can see him fight it.
a very relaxed young man on the mound. He throws a screwball to Foster. You can see the spin on that. That was a great shot as he very nonchalantly watches the fly ball. What a shot from behind home plate. You could see that ball turning over and going down.
You know, we go on and on about these shots, but picture yourself in the batter's box, much like Johnny Bench. Takes the pitch low, and you saw on that close-up how he looks into the cap, closes his eyes, and then the spin with the full extension of his arm where he threw the screwball that got George Foster. Screwball, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Joe, you read an interesting article to me last week, and I know you've talked to Carl Hubble about this young kid, because Hubble was the man who everybody says may have invented a screwball, whether it's true or not.
He did. Hubble was the man, and he talks about the full extension of this Valenzuela's arm. He said he doesn't put a strain on his elbow or his wrist. And when you talk screwballs, you're going to the master when you talk about Mr. Carl Hubble, the Hall of Famer, and he's just, the way he releases the ball is the way Hubble, I guess, threw the ball.
Ron Peronowski, his pitching coach, and Bobby Castillo, who taught the screwball to Valenzuela, talk about, he said there's no strain on the elbow and the shoulder, but he does it all with his hand and his fingers and the grip on the ball. He's unusually wild today, isn't he?
That's the 4th base on balls that he's given up. Johnny Bench twice. Tony Ayala, that tough teenager from San Antonio, continues as he goes for the championship. That's on tomorrow's champions via satellite from San Remo, Italy. Ayala hasn't lost a match in 10 years. He's only a teenager now. Also on the card will be a middleweight, Alex Ramos. His record is unblemished. That's tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern time on tomorrow's champions. Ayala, Ramos, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Ray Knight was out on strikes his first time up. 1 ball to count. Fernando has struck out 3. He has walked 4.
McNamara likes to hit and run with Knight. A 1-0 count.
There's 1. Double play. Nice play by Garvey. A double play. Got the ground ball. Here's a replay on it, and Darryl Thomas wasn't so sure he was going to get him, Tony.
Fernando reached for the ball, closed the glove, it wasn't there. I'll say everybody's raving what kind of defense these guys are playing.
So that ends the 4th inning. We go in 5th, 1-0 Dodgers.
See all your favorite country stars in a song-filled 2-hour special from Nashville, celebrating 50 years of country music Saturday on NBC.
Give that man a blue ribbon.
How about a beer? Come on. Absolutely.
When the real taste of beer is everything you thirst for. The original Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer. Any car can get you there, but few can make you feel like you're real behind the wheel of a Fiat. Nothing moves you like a Fiat. Nothing offers quite the thrill. No other car can set in motion the emotion of Fiat will.
Of all the practical reasons for owning a Fiat X19, the best one is how it makes you feel.
Nothing moves you like a Fiat.
Running out of patience. A special report Monday at 10 on Channel 5.
Game in a moment. This is one of the tougher assignments from beautiful San Remo on the Italian Riviera. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, and we'll be with you tomorrow and next Sunday on Sports World with more of tomorrow's champions. Exciting boxing featuring such undefeated youngsters as Tony Ayala, Johnny Bumpus, Alex Ramos, and Davey Moore. And from the homeland of Joe Garagiola, we say, salute. Back to baseball.
Well, Marv Albert, you said that salute like you were trying to say, eat your heart out, Garagiola, and I don't blame you. San Remo, Italy. That's where Marv Albert will be there, as you heard him say. You'll see him tomorrow and next weekend. Tomorrow's champions, boxing.
Soto pitching to Darryl Thomas, then Valenzuela and Russell. Fly ball, deep right field. Collins back to the wall. Dodgers lead 2-0. So a couple of home runs. Garvey leading off the fourth with nobody on. Now Darryl Thomas leading off the fifth. Mario Soto allowed just 3 base hits, but 2 have been of these kind. Home run. Catcher Mike O'Berry knew it was gone. You could see his reaction. Collins back to the wall, but it's well over the fence. Now it's Fernando Valenzuela who grounded back to Soto in the second inning. Can you imagine an audience of almost 50 million people in Mexico listening to the Mexican or Spanish-speaking broadcasters, several million in Southern California? Good swing by Valenzuela, 1 strike.
I think that story you told about him going to that clinic was something.
Manny Mota said that they went to the Spanish-speaking section of Los Angeles for a clinic. Valenzuela came along with a police escort, looked like a presidential motorcade, way up high, 1-1. They had police escorts, people running alongside to protect Valenzuela from the throngs. They just want to touch him. They had helicopters hovering over his car for crowd control. He's become a national hero. 1-1, no outs, ground ball. Oster, bench, 1 down. Fernando Valenzuela.
I think what he has done, he has shown the way. Not to get biblical, but a little child shall lead us. He has just shown him the way that there is opportunity and you can do it, and he's given hope. Tremendous story.
Bill Russell with a double and a ground out off Soto. And then the top of the fifth, Dodgers lead 2-0.
Isn't it funny how with greatness goes humility? A nicer kid you wouldn't want to meet.
1 strike to Russell. Little looper, short center field. Griffey freezes. Now he comes in. No chance for a play on the Texas Leaguer. So Russell's on with his second. A few boos for Griffey. Some people thought he should have had it, but he had no chance on the ball.
Tony, the Red Sox lead Milwaukee 3-0 at the end of 3. 4-0 now.
Soto pulled the string off the end of the bat. While we have a chance, as we look at this replay, Griffey taking on the Big Bill, as Case used to say, the Big Hop. We're going to remind you this telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball, intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball or Fernando Valenzuela is prohibited. He puts his imprimatur on it, you can do it. 1 out. Ken Landreau, 1 strike. Bellows, Dutch Rennert behind home plate.
Baltimore 3, Detroit 1, end of 4. DeCinces a home run. Flanagan against Rosenbaum.
Snap throw by Soto. Russell back in time with 1 down.
Bombach for Toronto. Keogh for Oakland. Everybody else in the American League tonight, and the Cubs and Montreal are tied 2-2, bottom of the 4th.
1 ball, 1 strike. That is Dutch Rennert. There's your score. Dodgers 2, Reds 0. A Garvey home run, a Thomas home run. Valenzuela has allowed just 1 hit to the Cincinnati Ball Club. Infield single by George Foster. Dutch Rennert behind home plate. Had an off day on Thursday. Went home to see his family. What did he do? Went to see a doubleheader, college baseball. University of Wisconsin, Oshkosh, in his hometown. Russell's off and running, fouled off by Landreau. He had a good jump. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out. Landreau has grounded out twice. You know, this spring there was some doubt as Russell went back to first base about Russell's condition. He hurt that finger, hit by a pitch ball last year on his throwing hand, and had some surgery. Thing still looks awful, but he's able to throw. He isn't able to swing the bat that well. Been in a slump. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Popped out of play, foul. Landreau starting his major league career with the Angels organization, then the Minnesota Twins. Grew up right in the shadows of Dodger Stadium. Landreau had the longest hitting streak in the major leagues last year with 31 consecutive games with the Twins. Bench bobbles the ball, steps in the bag, out. Now they've got Russell hung up. There's no force. Did Bench get him? Yes, he did. Double play. Bench made that play like he's doing it his whole life. Stepped on the bag. Got rid of the ball. So, Soto pitches out and out after 1 run. Going to the bottom of the 5th to score. 2-0 Dodgers over the Reds. Due up Oster, O'Berry, and Soto for Cincinnati.
Outside, the sea throws you an angry coming home party. But below, there's comfort. Introducing new Royal Comfort Pipe Tobacco. Now you can take comfort in knowing there's a good-tasting aromatic pipe tobacco specially blended to smoke cool, to always satisfy. Pipe after pipe after pipe. New Royal Comfort. If it's a cool smoke you seek, take comfort.
This is clear, solid lucite. Tough, durable, made by DuPont to last. Wouldn't it be great if a paint gave you this? Lucite house paint does. The same basic ingredient in solid lucite is a key ingredient in liquid lucite. So it's tough, durable, made to resist peeling and cracking, made to last. Lucite, a long-lasting paint based on a solid idea from DuPont. Now save $3 to $5 or more on lucite at participating stores.
There's a hungry kind of feeling, and every day it grows. You know there's so much more to you than anybody knows.
Specialist Kevin Crowley is working with tomorrow's technology in the Army's newest tank.
All that you can be.
The laser determines target range and feeds it to the computer.
All that you can be.
It's just incredible.
'Cause we need you in the Army. In the Army.
Don Sutton of the Astros said that the catcher Mike Scioscia had a lot to do with the success of Valenzuela. We asked Scioscia what he does when he goes to the mound to talk to Fernando Valenzuela.
I go out to the mound and I say, Fernando, food, beer, and light beer. And he nods and says, see? And I go back and call a pitch, and we won another game. I don't know, you figure it out.
He's putting you on, folks, because Scioscia speaks Spanish, and he can communicate with Fernando. Oster, O'Berry, Soto scheduled. Dodgers lead 2-0, bottom of the 5th. Fouled out of play. I'll tell you what, that screwball is on the minds of these hitters so much that when he does throw a fastball, he looks like he's throwing it 100 miles an hour, and they can't get around on it. I think the reason, Joe, is, and you know better than I would, having been a catcher, that screwball is a pitch that can embarrass you. It can bounce the dirt, you can swing it. So it's always back of your mind, makes you defend. There he jammed it with an inside fastball. Russell will have a tough throw. He will not get it. He tried to plant his foot on the artificial surface at Gaines, then he couldn't get the handle, and he drew Garvey off the bag. Scored a base hit.
Here's the replay. You see him trying to plant that foot, but once he did that, he lost the play, and even the ball sailed.
When the right foot slipped when he tried to plant it, he had to throw sidearm, and he looked like he cut it, and the ball sailed away, as you said. So now it's Mike O'Berry. Oster at first. Second base hit off Valenzuela, both in the infield. One by Foster in the second, and this one by Oster. Fouled off the foot of O'Berry, 1 strike.
They've described him so many ways, but I think Dusty Baker had a real good one. He says, I'm in the outfield, but I've seen the ball do things that mathematically it shouldn't. Whatever that means, it's just, he is so deceiving. Mathematically or whatever, he just does tricks with it.
Oster's at first. 2 strikes the count now on Mike O'Berry with Soto on deck. Well, last year, the rookie pitcher of the year was Steve Howell, left-hander for the Dodgers. Year before that, Rick Sutcliffe, a Dodger pitcher. If Valenzuela keeps going, you'd have to say he's got a chance, wouldn't you? When does that ever happen before, if it should happen?
If he keeps going, he's going to win everything. Most valuable players, Cy Young, probably be on a $20,000 pyramid, everything.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Mike O'Berry with a runner on first. Screwball. Saved. Past his glove. So Cincinnati has runners on first and second. They trail by 2. Soto scheduled. He will confer with McNamara. He's going to put in a pinch hitter, I believe. I thought maybe he might leave Soto in to sacrifice the runners along. He's gone back to sit down.
Here's the replay on it, and it's right between Say and Bill Russell. It's a base hit.
Joe Garagiola, Tony Kubek, Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. We are in the bottom of the 5th. The Dodgers lead 2-0. Ron Oster singled, Mike O'Berry singled. Soto, the hitter with 2 men on. Valenzuela threw the ball. He did not have to. It is not a balk to second base. Soto up there. He's going to try and bunt. Say now wants to confer from his third base spot along with Socha behind the plate with Valenzuela in a bunt situation. But McNamara calls Soto back, and I've got to believe Soto's not that bad of a hitter to say, listen, if they're charging too hard, we'll put you on your own. We may have you try and slap it by someone.
Yeah, but while McNamara is doing that, what they're saying is beer, light beer, and food. And that screws up all the strategy. The Dodgers made their 2 runs on home runs, one by Garvey in the 4th and one by Darrell Thomas.
Oster and Mike O'Berry on base for the Reds. No outs. Soto, the hitter. There are your runners. Cincinnati trails by 2. They are charging at the corner. Russell's going to third. Strike. Play was on. The runner Oster at second base had plenty of room to do what he wanted to because Darrell Thomas went to first. Russell went to third as Garvey and Say charged. Now you've got to be alive if you're a base runner for the same kind of trick play. Russell going to third, but Darrell Thomas sneaking behind for a pickoff. We've seen these trick plays backfire time and time again. Some teams have as many as a half a dozen in this kind of situation.
Yeah, and they finish in the 2nd division.
1 strike. Fouled off by Soto. No balls, 2 strikes.
He broke off the mound in good shape that time. Valenzuela was going towards third, which is the way you make the play. Here's the replay. Watch him. As soon as he delivers it, he heads for third base. There he goes.
He has a feel for this game, call it instinct if you want, that is difficult to teach. 0-2 to Soto. Bunting again. He gets it down. It is a beauty. Valenzuela will have to hurry. Nobody at first base. It's in the right field corner. Nobody there to run it down. 1 run scores. Here comes 2. Soto will come all the way home. Reds 3, Dodgers 2. And listen to the crowd. Play. Soto making a perfect bunt. They hung the kid up. They hung Valenzuela up with a trick play, Joe, that backfired with nobody covering first base. Dusty Baker from right field trying to hustle in and cut this off, but they hung the kid up. Guerrero from right field. Check that.
Once he gets the ball, he has to fire it. And he was sure Garvey would be there, and you can see that he realizes only after he threw it what he had done.
Well, he's got one thing to do, as you said, Joe, come up throwing. And with Thomas going to second base, it's going to be probably a sacrifice. No time at bat for Soto. An error on the pitcher, Valenzuela. But the trick play backfires on the Dodgers. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Collins. What a way to take the lead for Cincinnati, 3-2.
Boy, you talk about wholesaling some runs. They really wholesale those jobbies. But they count just as big as the other two on home runs, took advantage of a weakness. The kid was hung up. He fired it to first base. Nobody was there, and that was it.
Could be a base hit to right field, so Collins is on. And he is a base-stealing threat. 3 base hits in the inning of Valenzuela.
You're going to get a pretty good idea of what ticks inside this youngster right now, because the 3 runs that scored directly attributable to him, because he threw the ball into right field, and you can say what you want, but it's E1.
Griffey now from the left side, maybe up there to bunt. Valenzuela has been behind in the ball game just once this season. That's before this situation. 1 strike, says Dutch Rennert. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Reds have scored 3. Collins being held by Garvey. Kid, Fernando Valenzuela. Strike 2 to Griffey. Now they have given a hit to Soto and an error. So no sacrifice, no RBIs, of course. Regardless, there are 3 runs home. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Valenzuela pitching to Griffey. Griffey is struck out and walked. One and 2. Dave Collins, with that single to right, now has been on base 37 of 38 games he's played this season. He scored in 22 of those. Collins is off. High fastball. Here comes the throw. Not a good throw again by Socha. Collins is in with another stolen base. Darryl Thomas backing the play up. Socha is reputed to have a good arm, Joe, but he has not thrown well twice today.
There's an intimidation factor here. He had a pretty good ball to handle. Ball was up. Can't say he got rid of the ball any too quickly. And just threw it right into the ground.
Collins was up and ready to go, but Darryl Thomas prevents it by backing the play up. Collins now 11 stolen bases in 17 attempts this season. Griffey, with no outs, would like to pull the ball to the right side. He pops it up, maybe playable. Saya's over battling the sun and is drifting. He goes in the Dodgers dugout, but it's on a play. Lasorda there to help out. So Griffey will get another shot. They're talking to Johnny Bench before the ball game. We're trying to recollect. And the last time a rookie pitcher there is Lasorda. Tom threw it all. But he was trying to recollect, remember when a young pitcher had this kind of success early. He mentioned the name right here in Cincinnati, Wayne Simpson. A young right-hander who was 13-1 at the All-Star break one year and then hurt his arm. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Screwball pulls it foul, which is about all a left-hand hitter can do with it breaking in on his fist. Collins at second. Nobody out. Reds lead 3-2. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It is a hot day. I'm sure Valenzuela and his country in Mexico has seen days as hot as this and hotter. 2-2. Ground ball. Griffey does an excellent job getting the runner Collins to third. Garvey will take it unassisted. And now with one out, Concepcion, who leads the league in RBIs. And you've got to believe now the Dodgers will have to bring their infield in at least halfway. Russ Nixon, the third base coach. Concepcion looking for a fly ball, and you've always got the possibility of the suicide squeeze or safety squeeze with your number 3 hitter up. I believe he's going to swing the bat.
He'd get my best breaking screwball on the very first pitch right here. As Collins at third base. He's got to keep the ball down. He's got to keep it away from him. Davies a first ball fastball hitter.
Popped up to the right side. Darrell Thomas with the glasses down, motions Guerrero off. He's got it out, number 2. Was that a fastball up and in? He jammed him.
He didn't get around on it. Here's the motion that he throws at you, and I tell you, he hides the ball well. He saw it all the way. You may not see it when it starts out, but he follows it off that bat. We've seen that reaction a couple times.
George Foster, infield single in the second, fly ball. Just got under it in the fourth to left field. 2 outs.
We have a rain delay in Boston. In Milwaukee, rather.
High with a fastball, ball 1. Collins at third.
The Red Sox are leading in that game 6-0. Schmidt a home run.
Screwball off the end of the bat by Foster. You can see that confidence that Valenzuela has in the screwball. 1 ball, no strike. He went to it to the cleanup hitter, Foster.
Watch the rotation on his ball. Here's that last pitch. See the seam spinning away from you.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Foster, fastball. He may dunk one in. Here comes Guerrero. Nice running catch. He saves the run. He got an excellent job. He was playing Foster deep, but the Reds come up with 3 runs, 3 base hits, a costly error after 5. 3-2 Cincinnati, 2 up. Dusty Baker, Steve Garvey, and Ron Say for the Dodgers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trouble spots like these are what separate Gillette Atra from all ordinary razors. The reason? The Atra pivot. It keeps the blades at a perfect shaving angle, giving you a better shave than any razor that can't pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many more reasons do you need? Gillette Atra, the pivot makes it better.
Gillette, when it comes to shaving, we give you the edge.
Right Guard knows a man needs all the protection he can get. That's why a man needs Right Guard. Right Guard has a male effectiveness formula so strong, no matter which Right Guard you choose, it helps stop a man's perspiration odor all day long. A man works hard, but Right Guard works harder. Now there's new hard-working Right Guard Solid, too.
Wherever you live, whatever you need to trim, Homelight string trimmers give you that finishing touch. Because after Homelight gives you quality, Homelight gives you a choice with lightweight electrics and powerful gasoline trimmers, all with automatic string advance. We've got trimmers that turn into blowers and trimmers that become brush cutters. There's even a trimmer you can operate with 1 hand. So whatever you need to trim, wherever you need to trim it, get a Homelight string trimmer for the finishing touch.
Going to the 6th, Mario Soto now with a 3-2 lead over the Dodgers and Valenzuela. Face Baker, Garvey, and Say.
Tony, while we got a chance, and Soto's taken a little bit of time there. We talked to both manager Tom Lasorda and to John McNamara. Here's John McNamara's son, graduated from the University of San Diego tomorrow. His daughter Susan graduates on Wednesday. He wishes him congratulations, long distance. Lasorda's worried about his mother-in-law, Sue Miller, thinking about her. His wife, Jo, down in Greenville, at the Greenville Memorial. So it's a big game, but there's still plenty human.
Baker tries to catch Knight back, but he missed the bunt, 1 strike. Well, here's the situation in Cincinnati. Reds 3, Dodgers 2. Dusty Baker, Steve Garvey, Ron Cey. The top of the 6th, your score, Reds 3, Dodgers 2. 2 home runs by the Dodgers, Garvey and Thomas. In the dirt, 2 balls, 1 strike to Baker. The runs off Valenzuela in the 5th. Oster, an infield single. O'Berry with a single to left, and Soto on 2 strikes. Bud had tried to sacrifice. Valenzuela, there was Garvey on deck, threw the ball to first to get the runner, but nobody was covering on a trick play that backfired. And Soto came all the way home from home plate with 2 runners ahead of him. Knight, a couple of hops, low throw, Bench with a great stretch, right into the line of the runner. Johnny Bench with an exceptional play.
Nice play by Johnny Bench. Here's that play Tony was talking about. Now watch the bunt by Soto. Valenzuela breaks over there, and it's such a good bunt. He has to come up throwing, but the trick play really put him in a jackpot. Nobody is there, and Darryl Thomas actually had to run the ball down. Here's the play that Ray Knight just made on Baker, but Bench gets the star on that play. Look at him stretch.
I'll tell you, that takes a lot of guts to go over to the line with a guy bearing down on you like that. Now it's Garvey with a walk in the 1st. A home run in the 4th. 1 ball. Mario Soto pitching to Garvey.
Bench is playing first base because of the hand injury to Dreesen, but Dreesen, those kind of plays, tough to get back.
Just out of the reach of Concepcion. Foster on this artificial surface just runs it down. Garvey will try for 2. Garvey hit a really good pitch. He went down for what looked like a slider low and away. So he's on with a double.
There it is.
Wow.
There's a case of a good hitter hitting a good pitch. Too many times, I know when I listen to games, they say a hanging curveball. That was a good pitch.
Reds 3, Dodgers 2, top of the 6th. Ron Cey now, who was 0 for 2 in the ball game, popped out, grounded out. Garvey's had a nice day, a walk, a home run, and a double. He made that double from home plate, Joe. He never stopped running. Saw the ball was to the glove side of Foster. When it was bobbled, he kept on running. Have they given an error? No, they can't give it to Foster.
No, they can't give him an error on that one.
1 out. Cey, over his last 8 seasons, averaging 89 RBIs, 199 career home runs, most by a Los Angeles Dodger. He has a big cut of the Soto fastball, 1 strike.
Ron Cey looks to me like he just has complete control of that strike zone.
You know, he said a pitcher's gotten a pattern of keeping the ball away because he tried to pull everything. He said, I wasn't getting the ball inside in the home run pitch, but now that I'm going the opposite way, hit a ball occasionally to right field, they're starting to change their pattern and come inside. He expects him to hit more home runs because he's making the pitchers go out of the pitching pattern to him. No balls, 2 strikes, Cey. He has been a steady little performer with the bat for this ball club. Goes unnoticed many times, with Baker having a fine year last year, Garvey. Soto just missed. They thought they had the pitch, but it'll go 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cey, very disciplined. He has a very small strike zone.
Boy, do umpires hate that as we look at Steve Garvey at second base when the pitcher stares and then walks around the mound and the catcher holds the ball for you.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Reds 3, Dodgers 2. Each team has 5 base hits. Slider hit deep to left center field. Griffey back to the wall. The Dodgers take the lead with a 2-run home run. 3rd home run of the ball game. This time Ron Cey with Garvey ahead of him. Number 200 for Cey as he steps on the plate. Career home run.
1 ball and 2 strikes, and here's the pitch again. It looked like it was down, maybe even away. That was on the fat part of the bat, and he got it.
He really extended the arm. Griffey goes as far as he can go and then just watches. 4-3, the Dodgers lead over the Reds. Ball 1 to Guerrero.
Dodgers are still busy giving high fives over there. Look at him.
Reggie Smith, middle of your picture. Now Valenzuela. Bert Hooton, who very quietly has gone 6-0. All the publicity this year thus far has been for Valenzuela. Dodgers are the best record in baseball. 1-1. Pedro Guerrero. Popeye. Look at those forearms on Garvey. Knight, 2 hopper to his left. Bench out number 2. Joe, we've mentioned Carl Hubble, and it brings to mind, we talk about Valenzuela again, a lot of people have said that he's too young to throw the pitch. He's going to hurt his elbow. And I think what you said, that Hubble said before, that with his nice, easy motion and delivery, he is so fluid, chances are he will not hurt his arm. But there have been some pitchers who threw the screwball pitched way up into their 30s and early 40s.
We had a great one in St. Louis, Harry Burkeen. Good screwball.
Socha, he's grounded to second twice. 1 ball. Valenzuela. Well, Mike Marshall threw a screwball in his late 30s. Warren Spahn threw a screwball when he was 41 or 42. Johnny Sain threw it, late 30s. McGraw is still throwing it. Philadelphia. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. Dodgers 4, Reds 3. Mike Socha. Fouled out of play. I guess the feat that stands out in baseball historians' minds most regarding the screwball pitchers at the time Hubble struck out. There's Ron Peranowski, the new pitching coach. Pepe Frias talking to him. Base hit, right field by Socha.
That all-star game when Hubble struck out all those American Leaguers.
Ruth, Garrett, Fox, Cronin, and Simmons. Al Shemansky.
Right from Milwaukee.
You bet.
That's a pretty good lineup to strike out. That'd be the kind of 5 guys coming up there, and 6 that you'd wish you'd get a long-distance call in the middle of them.
Darryl Thomas with a home run and a walk in this ball game, facing Soto with 2 outs and Socha at first. Bench playing behind the runner. Every ball club, not every ball club, should have a guy like Thomas. I think last year John Wathan with the Kansas City Royals, who was a designated hitter, a right fielder, a left fielder, a catcher, a first baseman, a pinch runner. Thomas is that kind of player. He's always ready. When you need him, he does whatever you want and does it well. Dutch Renner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bench playing behind Socha at first with 2 outs. Dodgers 4, Reds 3. Ball. Bench is behind. Soto got his signals crossed. First base, when you step, you got to throw, unless you step off the rubber first. Second base, you don't have to, nor third.
Bill Fisher's going to come out and talk to him, because if there's anything that upsets there's the balk. Of course, he's got to throw it. If there's anything that upsets a pitcher is when they screw up like that, because that's page 2 of the pitcher's how to pitch book. Is always make sure where your players are. All he had to do was look and see bench behind him.
And you might recall, I don't know if you showed the shot on the air, but we saw it from up here, of course. Before these 2 pitches were thrown to Thomas, Bench yelled out to him and held his hand up and said, hey, I'm playing behind. But after 2 pitches, Soto forgot. Paul Moscow begins to loosen up now. It's the second balk of the season for Soto. Moscow coming off that shoulder surgery, helped us out last year in the World Series telecast with Tom Seaver. Kept some very extensive charts for us. 2-1 to Thomas. Socha at second after the ball. Two and one, that may have been a changeup, which he has so much confidence in as Valenzuela does in his screwball. Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Los Angeles Dodgers 4, Cincinnati Reds 3. We're in the top of the 6th. Foul off. Dodgers took a 2-0 lead. Home run in the 4th by Garvey leading it off. Home run in the 5th by Thomas leading it off. Then in the 5th, Oster a single, O'Berry a single. A goofed up bunt play where the ball was thrown by Valenzuela in the right field with nobody covering first base, and Soto came all the way home with 2 runners ahead of him. Foul off again. This inning, a ground out by Baker, a double by Garvey, Say with a home run to give the lead to the Dodgers once again, 4-3. That's how it stands right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Thomas the hitter facing Soto. Bench, nice play, knocking it down. He saved the run, flipped to Soto. He got him. Bench saved the run and made an acrobatic throw and an acrobatic catch by Soto, with Socha rounding third base. So Johnny Bench, duplicate of the play made last week, backhanding it. Here it is, Joe.
He backhands it and off his glove, but instinctively he's going to still try to make the play, and Soto, a real acrobat on this play. Look at that. Nice play.
Dodgers did come up with 2 runs, a home run by Ron Say, third for the Dodgers. We go to the bottom of the 6th with a score. Dodgers 4, Reds 3.
Ford has some hot news for fan buyers. No matter how you slice it, for 1981, Ford is out front again. Ford's out front design gives more turnaround room inside. Plus, unbeaten estimated MPG. And the best highway rating of them all. And Ford backs all this up with big payloads, too. Yes, when you put it all together, you get one tough van out front where it counts. Is it any wonder Ford's America's best-selling van?
At Transamerica, we provided affordable life insurance for 4 generations with Occidental Life. We give you great travel values with Transamerica Airlines and budget rent-a-car. We even make sure life's little surprises won't put a hole in your budget.
Arnie, my favorite Transamerica insurance agent.
First-rate service at a fair price. Transamerica.
Yes, New York, I think we have that information coming in.
These busy executives in 3 different cities are all at the same conference, a teleconference. They solve their problems without leaving the office through the Bell Network, the world's most advanced information management system. That reduces travel, cuts costs, gets more done. You are also part of the network. Use it. Put our knowledge to work for you. The Information Management Network from Bell.
Well, the gentleman on the left is farmer manager Waller Alston, watching the game with his son-in-law and the lovely lady, Jenny Ozark, wife of Danny Ozark, Dodger coach, is on her way to see her grandbaby.
I'll remind you, next Saturday, on our game of the week, a doubleheader. Philly ball will debut on National Network TV. Oakland A's go to Toronto, take on the Blue Jays. Then Cincinnati Reds against their rivals, the same team you're seeing today, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Baseball's hottest team at this point. Next week, on our game of the week, a doubleheader starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on NBC Sports. Valenzuela will face Bench, Knight, and Oster in the bottom of the 6th. Unofficially, Fernando has thrown 73 pitches, 35 screwball. That's about half. 1 strike to Bench. The 5th, and there were 4 consecutive hits off Valenzuela, all singles. Strike 2 to Bench. First time in his career he's given up 4 hits in a row. Just that hit given to Soto is debatable in my mind. Nobody was covering first base. 2 strikes on bench. Valenzuela way ahead. He drills a screwball to right field. Good piece of hitting by Bench. Nice play by Guerrero, holding him to a single. He was looking screwball, even with 2 strikes, or at least looking to go the opposite way. So, Bench is on, leading off the 6th for Cincinnati. Bench has had 2 walks and now a single to right. Right around 300 since he's been playing first base. Now it's Knight with a strikeout and a double play. Fouled off.
Johnny Bench breaking on that play, and he had himself a pretty good jump. Had Knight not fouled that pitch off, I doubt Associate would have been able to get him. You know, you just take Johnny Bench for granted over there, and Garvey is now saying something to Valenzuela.
Well, Bench had 13 stolen bases. That was back in '76. But the element of surprise right there, he felt that Valenzuela was not watching him closely. 1 strike on Knight. Dodgers 4, Reds 3. 2 strikes. Fastball.
Castillo.
The man who taught Fernando Valenzuela the screwball. Terry Forster also down, the left-hander. Garvey steps on the bag, does not flip. He's got Bench hung up. Now Russell's got the ball. Whoop, he can't get out of his glove. Look at Valenzuela backing up the play.
And
right
he's
where
lucky.
It's supposed to be.
He's lucky to hold on to that ball because right in the webbing, Russell had a little problem getting it out of his webbing, and it looked like Bench was going to beat the play. He alertly stopped when he saw Garvey step on it. Watch it now. Now here's where Russell has a little problem getting it out. Right there. He throws it by Thomas, and there's Valenzuela. Nice play by the youngster.
I'll tell you, if Thomas gets the ball, Bench is by him. There's no chance for play, and Valenzuela very alertly coming over to back the play. He looks like he's played this game for 20, 30 years. 2 outs. Fly ball by Oster, right center field. Guerrero is having trouble. He makes a circus catch out of what should have been routine. I don't know if the sun bothered him or the wind currents, but anyway, Valenzuela pitches out of it. So after 6 here in Cincinnati, the score, Dodgers 4, Reds 3, due up. Valenzuela, Russell, Landreau. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
It's Bob Hope's birthday, and Marie Osmond, Sugar Ray Leonard, Brooke Shields, Mickey Rooney, Glenn Campbell, Mary Martin, George C. Scott, and 42nd Street join the celebration Monday.
Give that man a blue ribbon.
There you go.
Jim, can we have 3 cups?
Down this way, let me have one.
Real taste of Jimmy. I need a real
Why don't you have one on us, eh?
The original.
Jim, cheers.
Blue ribbon beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
Just when you thought Seiko had done it all, Seiko creates new wonders. Dual display alarm chronographs with day and date. Water-resistant alarm chronographs with single button control for each function. Solar alarm chronographs with batteries recharged by the sun. And Seiko's first alarm countdown timer for women. Will Seiko wonders never cease? See them when you see this sign.
Seiko watches available at Smart Jewelers.
Running Out of Patience, a special report, Monday at 10 on Channel 5.
Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek here in Cincinnati, where the Los Angeles Dodgers lead the Reds by the score of 4-3. In other baseball, Toronto at Oakland, Bombach against Keogh, the scheduled pitchers. Boston 6, Milwaukee nothing. They've got a rain delay over there. Bottom of the 6th, Torres against Lurch, Schmidt a home run. And Baltimore 5, Detroit 1 at the end of 6. Stewart against Bailey, both in relief. Texas at Seattle, Chicago at California, Minnesota, Kansas City, and Cleveland, the Yankees tonight. Cubs in Montreal are tied 2-2 at the end of 6. Burris against Rusho. Everybody else tonight. Valenzuela takes it high. It's ball 1. Fernando Valenzuela. Dutch Renner booms it out. 1 ball and 1 strike. You'll soon be seeing a poster of Valenzuela, much in the Farrah Fawcett mold. Didn't take long. Didn't get it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Dodger defense turned over 3 double plays so far. Soto is trailing by 1. Dodgers 4, Cincinnati 3. Next week, same 2 teams from Los Angeles. Johnny Bench, big hop. I might add, Tony, if there is baseball next Saturday. What do you think, kid?
Possibility of a strike. I guess it'll happen on midnight of the 28th.
Friday.
I'm optimistic again. I don't care what Mr. Greavy and Mr. Miller are saying. Publication. I think they're talking. It's too much to lose for both sides, and the issue in my mind is not big enough. It's a matter of each side letting the other side save a little face, and they can work it out. Guarantee if Mr. Steinbrenner or Mr. Edward Bennett Williams were on the bargaining table, it would be settled now in a half hour's time. We'd have it over with.
There you are. 2 strikes. You asked Mr. Kubek a question, you get an answer.
Well, do you think there's going to be a strike?
No, I did.
I keep hearing this pessimistic stuff, but I don't know.
There's John McNamara with Harry Dunlop, one of his coaches. Harry was on that great 1952 Pittsburgh Pirate team that lost 112 games. Russell fouls it back. Russell doubled in the 1st inning, bounced out 3rd to 1st in the 3rd. He singled to center in the 5th. He's 2 for 3. Good fastball. That's the 2nd strikeout for Soto. 2nd out in the inning. And don't forget our 7th inning stretch coming up. Our feature, Robin Roberts today.
Russell's having such a difficult time keeping his right hand on the bat. We told you about that surgery on his finger. He's usually a pretty good contact hitter, but that hand flies off. I don't think he's got really good control yet. And feel with that right hand and that sore finger. It was a pretty good pitch by Soto. He really got him up and in, though.
Landro took plenty of time, which seemed to be upsetting to Soto. Landro bounced out 2nd to 1st in the 1st inning, bounced out to the 1st baseman unassisted in the 3rd, hit into a double play in the 5th. Ball 1.
Landro may have been trying to give Fernando Valenzuela a little bit more of a breather on the bench.
Two balls and no strikes. We understand there are some audio problems, so there's nothing wrong with your set. So just leave it where it is. Follow the picture. Three and 0. Dusty Baker, Dr. Scald, the on-deck batter. Dodgers 4, Cincinnati 3, top of the 7th. There's the strike.
Dutch Renner's got a chance behind home plate to lose a few pounds today.
Concepcion had him played perfectly. In time, 3 up, 3 down. So we go into the bottom half of the 7th inning. The score, the Dodgers 4, Cincinnati 3. And now here's another installment of the 7th inning stretch. One of the great pitchers.
Old Spice presents the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Old Spice Aftershave and Cologne, the fresh, clean, masculine scent women love.
Robin Roberts had such an easy motion that his smoking fastball was a constant surprise. In the early 50s, Robin accomplished 6 consecutive 20-victory seasons for the Philadelphia Phillies. He led the National League 5 times in innings pitched and complete games, twice in strikeouts and shutouts. Because he had such supreme control of his pitches, batters never worried about being knocked down, and they always dug in on Robin. His career total of 502 homers allowed is Robin's only major league record. Robin powered the Phillies to an improbable pennant in 1950, but most of his 19 years was spent with losing ball clubs. And whenever a ball game came down to one pitch, nobody was ever tougher than Robin Roberts.
A little Old Spice has a lot of rewards. Old Spice is the clean, fresh, masculine scent so many women love. So even if you love only one woman, you'll love Old Spice, the man scent so many women love.
Dodgers 4, Cincinnati 3, bottom of the 7th. Bob Trumpy, one of our football announcers here watching this great game of baseball.
You mean the controversial Bob Trumpy with that talk show?
Oh, lovable, lovable.
Lovable Bob.
Bob Trumpy has a good housekeeping seal right on his nose. 1 strike to count on O'Berry. We've got a pinch hitter coming out in the on-deck circle. Foul tip. 2 strikes.
I've been trying to think of the number of balls. There's Sam Mejias on deck. There have not been that many balls hit hard off Valenzuela. Bench drilled one to right field. Hard ground ball through the left side. Aside from that, not a whole lot.
An error hurt him. 1 ball, 2 strikes is one of those trick play jobs.
Ah, your pet peeve.
Ah, they're guarding the line.
Say and Garvey. It's 1 foot all but on the line.
Fastball misses. Garvey at first and Say at third really guard the line. And I know what the managers say. They say, I don't want the ball between my third baseman and the bag for 2.
We saw it yesterday. A ball hit to Say's left. It went for a double. On this artificial surface, there's Say.
There's Garvey. But Guy can't play off 2 steps and cover that. Something's wrong.
O'Berry's not going to pull the ball a whole lot.
Foul back. O'Berry in the first inning bounced out to the second baseman. Then in that 5th inning, he singled to left between Russell and Say. And
Fernando.
What O'Berry's looking at. Watch those eyes. They knocked me out. Look at that. Looking straight up. Now he picks up the batter. Walked him. Tying run is on. That is the 5th walk given up by Valenzuela. And coming into today's game, he had only averaged 2.2. Mejias, who's been a hot pinch hitter for McNamara, now batting for Soto.
Against left-handers this year, Mejias has been 5 for 8.
.333 average. Misses it, trying to bunt. Strike 1.
I'll tell you, if he gets the ball down, either Say or Garvey, and Fernando Valenzuela, pretty good fielder, with O'Berry running at first base, they'd have a pretty good shot. And that wouldn't surprise me if they did put a switch on. Let him swing. No, he's going to bunt again.
Right back to the pitcher. Valenzuela goes to second. Safe.
I want to say one thing about Valenzuela. He came up throwing. O'Berry had to have a pretty good jump off the bag. A couple of high hops. He's going for the lead runner all the way. Russell taking the throw. Russell's off the bag. He pulled him off the bag just a little bit. Another tough call. It's about 3 that Randy Marsh in his second big league baseball game has had down at second.
Oh, Socia trying to settle him down now. Valenzuela, you could see, had it in mind all the way. He was going to go to second base and get that lead man. Plays like that, Mr. Rick used to call errors of enthusiasm.
You sort of Basgill, Joe Ferguson from left to right on the Dodger bench. Nixon with a talk with Collins. Hitting from the right side off Valenzuela. They're looking for a bunt once again. Forster on your right, Castillo on your left.
The scorer rules that a sacrifice for Mejias. Nobody out. Dave Collins, who is 1 for 3. Line to first, hit into a forced play and single. Garvey is starting to charge hard. Strike one.
No trick plays that time, Joe. Russell was holding his position at short. Thomas was going to first.
O'Barry's at second. Mejias is at first. A walk to O'Barry, a sacrifice by Mejias. It's a 4-3 ball game. The Dodgers out in front. We're in the bottom of the 7th. There's the trick play, and nothing happened. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Russell breaks for third.
The thing about this play, Joe, when you leave second base unoccupied, that's the play that I think Clete Boyer, and Brooks Robinson made so well. They would get the lead runner at second. You still had a double play first and third.
One ball and 1 strike. Dave Collins. O'Barry's at second. Mejias is at first. Nobody out. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here at Riverfront in Cincinnati. Valenzuela in trouble. He's got a 1-run lead, but the Reds are threatening. There you see O'Barry at second. Mejias, the pinch hitter, at first. 2 balls and 1 strike the count on Dave Collins, a tough man to double up. Dodgers 3 home runs, 1 by Garvey, 1 by Thomas, and a 2-run homer by Ron Cey. Bunted down the third base line. Cey's only play to first base in time. Beautiful bunt. There's been no official time at bat charged in this inning so far, and Griffey's up there now with a chance to give the Cincinnati Reds the lead. O'Barry's walk, Mejias' sacrifice, and now a sacrifice by Collins.
An oddity that you just said, no official at bat, a sacrifice fly right here could tie it up, and there would still not be an official time at bat.
Ken Griffey, he struck out in the first inning. He walked in the third, and he bounced out to the first baseman unassisted in the 5th.
Dodger infield, aside from Cey at third, they're playing back. At this point, anyway, there's some teams will have their men creep in. Time on the field with a ball loose from the Dodger bullpen. You play it and a base hit sneaks through. The runner scores from second base too. This way you can knock the ball down even though you give the tying run up.
It's going to be deep enough. Guerrero. Here comes the runner heading for third is Mejias. He'll make it.
The game has been somewhat of a struggle for Valenzuela today. His control's been off. Fly ball, right field, sacrifice fly, scoring the tying run. Valenzuela knows right what to do. It's midway between home and third to back up the play. The ball caught off from Guerrero by Russell, the shortstop.
And we still don't have a time at bat. Dave Concepcion with Mejias at third and the score tied at 4 apiece. Out of play, strike one.
Nixon, the third base coach, with Mejias down at third base.
Strike two. He's got the infield back. You wouldn't expect the bunt.
Try and beat it out for a base hit. With 2 outs and try and score the run. There's the defensive alignment. Good job today by our producer, director Harry Coyle, producer George Finkel, and all you cameramen. Love the shot when they get those eyes and that screwball turning over. You can see the seams.
Russell. In time. Ends the inning. So at the end of 7 innings of baseball here in Cincinnati, Dodgers 4, Cincinnati 4. And due up for Los Angeles, it'll be Dusty Baker, Steve Garvey, and Ron Say, the middle of the lineup.
There's one tire that dominates America's racetracks. It's Goodyear's Racing Eagles. And now we've tamed our Eagles for the streets as a new line of high-performance radios. Eagle NCT, our ultimate performance radio. Eagle GT, already chosen as the optional radial on the 1981 Corvette. Eagle ST, with performance that belies its price. The Eagles, tamed for the streets, but far from tame.
The new Bic roller feels so smooth you don't just write, you go with the flow.
Come on, Jackson, let's take a shower. Hey, don't rush me. I'm going with the flow.
I can't write a fan letter to the Bee Gees with a pen that mushes down. Get with it, sister. Go with the flow.
The new Bic roller lets you go with the flow and go, because our point won't turn to mush no matter how hard you push.
We've done it.
We've taught Herman to go with the flow. The Bic roller, go with the flow.
Come on, people, one and all. Everyone can use a little armor all. Protecting, beautifying, most of all, it's satisfying armor all. Once it's sprayed, gets down inside, you help things last when it's applied. Come on, people, one and all. Everyone can use a little armor all. Protecting, beautifying, most of all, it's satisfying armor all. Armor all.
Combine martial art karate with the power and glories of heavyweight boxing, and you get the exciting PKA Championship bout. Plus, it's the incredible brute strength of the world's strongest women in the World Powerlifting Championships tomorrow on NBC Sports World.
Sam Mejias, who came on as a pinch hitter, remains in the game. He's batting in the 9th slot, and the new pitcher is Tom Hume. He'll bat in Collins' spot, the leadoff spot. First pitch is popped up. Bench says, I'll take it, and Baker's an easy out. One out, and it brings up Steve Garvey.
Hume, 2 wins, 2 losses. There you see his ERA, 2.74, 19th ball game, all in relief. He's finished 16 ball games for this club, 5 saves. I guess you'd say he's a power pitcher, wouldn't you? Slider, hard fastball, doesn't change speeds much.
1 strike. You almost would be willing to bet that Garvey would take that pitch after Baker hit the first one. Hume took advantage of it. Strike 2.
Steve's had a nice day.
Garvey walked in the 1st. He hit a home run in the 4th. Doubled and scored in the 6th. Garvey led the league with 200 base hits last season. Second time he led the National League in hits. 1975, he did it with Pete Rose. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Montreal 3, Cubs 2. They're in the 7th inning. Everybody else tonight in the National League. Broken bat, base hit. The bat went all the way out to shortstop as the ball went out to left field.
Is that strength? Power that ball through a high inside pitch. Gets jammed. Oh. He just tries to fight it off, get a piece of it. He's got the hand. He's going to get that award they give. The Sporting News Award. Looks like you hit it with a Sporting News through that side.
A wet one. That bat really went a long way, but then you look at those forearms of Garvey. You just know that he's had spinach on his Wheaties.
He's got a shot at our MVP for today, Garvey.
It's his 3rd base hit. He's got a perfect day. Here's Ron Say, hit a 2-run homer his last time up. He pops this one up. Ray Knight at third base says he'll take it. And he does. So there are 2 away. The attendance here today, 40,928. 40,928.
And our personal thanks to the president of the organization, Mr. Dick Wagner. They really treat us nicely when we come here, don't they?
Sure do. 2 outs, and here is Guerrero. Guerrero flied to right in the 2nd, again in the 4th, and bounced out in the 6th. We're all tied, 4-4. Right back to Hume. Should be easy. It is. So we go into the bottom half of the 8th inning. Dodgers 4, Cincinnati 4. And for the Cincinnati Reds in the bottom of the 8th, it'll be George Foster, Johnny Bench, and Ray Knight.
Fact, when you waste gasoline, you waste money. Fact, a lot of leading motor oils now claim to save you gas. Fact, the black oil Arco Graphite saves you more gas than those other leading oils. Why? Because friction robs you of gas mileage, and Arco Graphite reduces friction better than any of those oils. So start saving gas. Use Arco Graphite, because it's a fact, not friction. Look for Arco Graphite's $1.80 refund offer.
The new world car, Ford Escort, now shows you another face. The sporty Ford Escort SS. It shows its stripes, pulls with front-wheel drive, handles with rack and pinion steering, smooths with 4-wheel independent suspension, informs and invites. The sporty Ford Escort SS, built in America to take on the world, and doing it.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball. Baseball.
4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Reds. Bottom of the 8th inning, Valenzuela, who has never gone less than 7 innings so far this season, goes into the 8th tied. He has really gotten the people to come out to the ballparks. They have a note of the attendance when he pitches: 50,000, 49,000, 53, 52. Ball 1. He's at 40,928 here today.
Ironic how Valenzuela got the opening day assignment. Jerry Royce was scheduled. He hurt his leg. Valenzuela was thrown in. Now 8 wins, 1 loss.
1 ball and 1 strike. George Foster. Foster had a base hit in the 2nd inning, flied to left and flied to right. He's 1 for 3. George Foster did a little bit of a dance trying to get at that one as Valenzuela let up.
2 slow changeups in a row from Valenzuela to George Foster. What's the arm speed? That motion, it was taught to him by Castillo to use as a changeup. He couldn't pick up a changeup any other way. They never thought it would be this good, this quick. And then Peronowski got hold of him. It was something like 6-9 last year. 6 wins, 9 losses. Down in San Antonio, finished the season at 13-9. He just dominated the league, and then was called up to the Dodgers late.
Right at Garvey. George Foster lines hard to Garvey. So there's 1 out. Johnny Bench, who has put on quite an exhibition.
Joe Tomorrow hasn't lost a match in 10 years. Tony Ayala Tough teenager from San Antonio continues his quest for the championship tomorrow on Tomorrow's Champion. Via satellite from San Remo, Italy. Also on the card, middleweight Alex Ramos puts his record on the line. He's undefeated. All tomorrow, 3 Eastern time on Tomorrow's Champion, right here on NBC. That'll be followed by Sports World. We hope you tune in.
Strike one. Johnny Bench, who the last time took 2 screwballs for a quick 2-strike count and then lined hard to right field, jumps on the first pitch here but doesn't get it. Good fastball. 2 strikes.
Joe, I've heard players around the league and other people say, well, we'll see how good he is the second time around, Valenzuela. But I think he's bound to be good because, as we said before, he's not just a one-pitch pitcher. He didn't throw only a screwball. He changes speeds well, has excellent control, busts it with a fastball, slow curve, slider.
Ron Say can't make the play. Johnny Bench is heading for second. Let's see how they rule it.
Well, that's a ball that was catchable. I don't know what they're going to give him, but Say, as we mentioned earlier, late in the ballgame, tie game, right on the line, hit the dirt and may have fooled him. That ball's got to be caught, or at least knocked down. He was protecting the line, as almost all managers have him. He had the shot at the ball, backed up, ball hit the dirt, scooted under his arm.
Johnny Bench is on base for the 4th time, 2 walks and 2 hits, and they're going to put Ray Knight on to set up the double play.
In your mind, is that a hit?
Not in my mind, no.
Mine either.
Not in especially the 8th inning in a tie ball game. You got to knock the ball down. Third base is a do-or-die position.
Now with this intentional walk, but they're probably setting up. Well, 1 out. Oster's not going to bunt, but Oster's been pretty hot with the bat.
That's the 6th walk given up by Valenzuela as we look at Tom Lasorda. Oster struck out in the 2nd. He singled and scored in the 5th and flied to right in the 6th. 1 man out. We're all tied. Bottom of the 8th. Guerrero in right field had called for Rosenbach. Just flipped it back out. He's playing very shallow. He was very shallow when Oster hit the ball in the 6th and almost didn't get to it. There you see the shot. It'll be tough for Bench to score on a hard hit ball to right field. That's high. Ball 1.
They talk about Valenzuela and say that when he has to make a certain pitch, he always makes it. 3 times in this ball game, he's made the pitch to get a double play. Got to make a pitch again.
Way out in front, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bench is on at second base. High score, bottom of the 8th. Ray Knight is on at first. 1 man out.
Knight should have a good jump at first in the ground ball to upset somebody at second on a pivot.
Little looper. Nobody will get it. Johnny Bench will be held up. Bases loaded. Johnny Bench was in no man's land. Ball is hit off the handle.
Daryl Thomas almost came up with a pretty good play right there because Ben said it's in, and then he may have been held up by Nixon as he started home, which prevented him from scoring. Nixon playing it safe, especially after last night. Almost a fine play by Daryl Thomas.
I didn't think he had a chance.
I didn't either.
It's hard to say nobody will get this one. He did get a glove on it. We're going to have a pinch hitter now. Mike Vail has come out of the Cincinnati dugout. 1 man out, bases loaded. A double by Bench, a walk tonight intentionally, and Oster an infield hit. Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek here at Riverfront, where the Cincinnati Reds have just loaded the bases. 1 man out. Bench a double down the left field line. Knight intentionally walked. Oster an infield hit. And now Mike Vail, the pinch hitter for O'Barry. Ball one. Bench at third. Knight at second. Oster at first. Mike Vail, the pinch hitter. One out. Not in time.
Say had a tough choice to make. He could have gone home and gotten the force out, prevented a run. He may have thought he was closer to third base. Vail with a good jump out of the box, beats it out, so a run scored. It was a judgment play and a tough play for third baseman. Say chose, and as it turned out, it was not right. As sharply as that ball was hit, Joe, I didn't think he'd feel it. Vail, nor did I, would ever beat that out.
I didn't think so either.
He must have had a good jump out of the box.
The key in that play, I think, Tony, is what you said. Say was not as close to the bag as he thought he was. Strike one on Mejias, who came on as a pinch hitter for Soto in the 7th inning. Sam Mejias. Five to 4, Cincinnati leading. Two strikes to count now on Sam Mejias. 2 men out, 1 run in. In the 9th inning for the Dodgers, Socia, Thomas, and a pinch hitter. Valenzuela trailing by a run. In the hole, Russell, a nice play. Got him.
Pops McNamara to argue the call at second base. Vail continues to argue with a young umpire, Randy Marsh. Fine play by Russell. Good play by Darryl Thomas to keep his foot on the bag and get the throw. We're going to give you a replay. First and second, 2 outs. Russell with the backhand. Off balance, snap throw. Watch Darryl Thomas. You bet he's out.
He got
Thomas
him.
made a good play, and Randy Myers, the second base umpire, with an excellent call.
So at the end of 8 complete innings, Cincinnati 5, Dodgers 4, Socia, Thomas, and a pinch hitter.
Introducing the Cutter, Black & Decker's most powerful string trimmer yet. The Cutter powers through grass, powers through weeds. And with the Cutter's command feed, just the touch of a button keeps the string at its most powerful cutting length. The Cutter, with command feed from Black & Decker, it can cut the time of trimming your yard.
Unleash the spirit. Unleash the spirit. Blue Stratos.
Blue Stratos, the spirited new men's cologne and aftershave, as brisk and bold as the open sky.
Blue Stratos.
Blue Stratos, for the free spirit in man.
Unleash the spirit. Unleash the spirit. Blue Stratos.
Here comes Johnny Rutherford. 3-time Indy 500 winner. To protect that engine at blazing speed, he runs with Pennzoil. Johnny's wife, Betty. She uses Pennzoil, too. But she uses Pennzoil's regular-priced, gas-saving multi-weight oil. Pennzoil. For cars like Johnny's, and Betty's, and yours. Gas-saving Pennzoil. Quality in every extra mile.
Be ringside with tomorrow's champions as 18-year-old knockout artist Tony Ayala takes on veteran campaigner Pat Hallisey. Plus, Boston's Danny Long battles the undefeated Alex Ramos tomorrow.
The new catcher is Joe Nolan, and we've got a pinch hitter from Mike Socia. Jay Johnstone has come on to pinch hit. Hume against Johnstone. Ball one. Ball two. 2 balls and no strikes. Cincinnati 5, Dodgers 4. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Tom Hume. We had a fairly easy 8th inning. Johnny Bench is coming in to say something now. Boy, I've heard that speech so many times. Look, Tom, you got a 1-run lead. We can't make a play if you're going to walk everybody. Throw a strike. Make them hit the ball. Very basic, very forthright. There's the strike. And, of course, the pitcher always says to you, what do you think I'm trying to do? That's Paul Moscow in the Cincinnati bullpen. Deep to right field, way back, way back. A home run, we're all tied up. Jay Johnstone with the 4th Dodger home run of the afternoon. Garvey in the 4th. Thomas in the 5th. A 2-run homer by Say in the 6th. And now Jay Johnstone here in the 9th, and it's 5-5. And we've got another pinch hitter. Rick Monday is the pinch hitter for Darryl Thomas in a brand new ball game. Strike one. Jay Johnstone. A pinch hit home run to tie it up. Tom Lasorda going to his bench. Rick Monday for Darryl Thomas. Outside, in the on-deck circle. A familiar face. Another pinch hitter, Reggie Smith. One ball and 2 strikes to count. Nobody out. We're in the 9th inning. All tied at 5 apiece. Stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dodgers 5 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. Reds 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. It's been a real Halloween ball game for Valenzuela. Quick play, threw the ball in the right field, 3 runs scored. Low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Then in the 8th inning, when Cincinnati went ahead, infield hit. Ball maybe should have been caught, went for a double. Monday is out on strikes. So Hume gets first out in the 9th inning, and Reggie Smith is the batter. And I cut the fastball, sailed outside. Monday didn't get it. So Reggie Smith, the pinch hitter for Valenzuela. The 8 hits and the 6 walks are the most that he's given up in any game this year. Smith going for the long one, doesn't get it. And Reggie, second on the all-time list of home runs for switch hitters with 295. Foul ball. Mantle, of course, with 536, number 1. Full foul once again. 2 strikes to count. Nolan wants to have a little word with his pitcher, Tom Hume. Pitch might have been a bit too good with a 2-strike count. strikes. 2 strikeouts for Hume. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Looked like he tried to punch one to the opposite field. The ball may have been on the outside part of the plate, maybe even out of the strike zone. He's setting up outside. Chased the bad ball. Good pitch by Hume. Tough one to lay off, and Smith is out. 2 outs. Here is Russell. Strike 1. Jay Johnstone's home run here in the 9th inning has tied it up. Line drive, base hit for Russell. Russell is on at first as he singles into right. Ken Landreau's the batter. Russell's on at first. That's his 3rd base hit. He's had a good afternoon. 3 for 5. Landreau is 0 for 4. 5-5, we're tied. 9th inning. Strike 1. It'll be a pinch hitter to lead it off for Cincinnati. Hume is in the leadoff spot. Griffey and Concepcion in the bottom of the 9th. Nolan thought something was happening. Might have even been crossed up because it was not a good pitch out. Almost looked like a breaking ball as we look at John McNamara. Probably asking his pitching coach Fisher pretty much what I just asked. What in the heck was that thing? Broken bat. Base hit center field. Russell stops at second. So Landreau singles to center field. And the Dodgers have the tie-breaking run on at second base, and Dusty Baker's the batter. Concepcion gives it a good chase, just can't quite reach it. And the Dodgers, with 2 outs, 1 run in, have Dusty Baker up there. And let's pause briefly for our station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WMAQ-TV, Chicago.
Ball 1. Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek here at Riverfront Stadium. Tied 5-5. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Dodgers have Russell at second, Landreau at first, Baker the batter. He doesn't get it. And I just wonder, as we look at the base runners, if the shadows are not a factor because they really are taking some feeble swings. Pitchers in sunlight, batters in the shadow. Outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Outside. 3-1. Tom Hume, who gave up a leadoff home run here in the 9th inning to pinch hitter Jay Johnstone. Foul back. 3-2 the count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. They'll be off and running. There they go. Pull foul. 40,928 as we look at Russell hit back to second. Landreau back to first. Good crowd. And they've seen quite a ball game. Next week, we'll have these same 2 teams from Los Angeles. Right center field, Griffey over, chasing it, having trouble. Nice catch by Mejias in right field. Beautiful play by Sam Mejias. Here's the replay. Griffey had trouble right there, and Mejias comes out of nowhere and makes the grab. Just may have saved the ball game. Definitely saved 2 runs. We go into the bottom of the 9th. We're all tied 5-5.
Sailing a tall ship is an old dream, but some men still dream it.
Stand by the headsail. Stand by the fore. All fast. Take up on the staff. Taking up the starboard tack. Take in the main top. Let's put her to sleep.
It's Miller time. Miller time. Time to head for shore and the best tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer. Miller. Tastes too good to hurry through. She's right out there. Minutes time to relax. We've got the beer.
Okay, which one? The alligator or the fox from JCPenney? Gee, the alligator has that terrific color. But so does the fox. And fit, comfort, looks, easy care fabric, they're all the same. And colors, there's even a fox and raspberry. So, what's the difference?
About $5 less. See you later, alligator.
We're Exxon. We're Teresa Hovey, who helps load oil from the Alaska pipeline onto an Exxon tanker. We're Captain Silcox, who takes the oil from Alaska to the Panama Canal. We're the crew of a smaller Exxon tanker, bringing it through the canal to our refinery. We're Captain Worley, in charge of moving products up the Mississippi. We're Toli Guba, who distributes products to our customers. We're more than 100,000 people working on energy. We're Exxon.
Danny Dreesen is the pinch hitter as we look at the new second baseman for the Dodgers, Pepe Frias. He's replaced Thomas. Yeager has come on to replace Socia behind the plate, and Dave Stewart is the new pitcher. Dreesen is the pinch hitter for Tom Hume. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Dan Dreesen. Out on strikes. Dave Stewart, who was the pitcher last night, the winning pitcher, 6'2", 200-pounder. He's 2-0. And he's got 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Ken Griffey, the batter. Strike 1. 5-5, we're all tied. Curveball, strike 2. Tony Stewart looks fast. That one really was some change of pace.
Yeah, that was a change-up curve, Joe. I think he throws awfully hard. Good fastball slider, and that was a curve. But I think it may be a little difficult to see with the shadow now over the hitter's area.
Russell is there. Big hop. Pulls him off the bag.
Once again, Joe, we saw it earlier. Russell, watch him flip this ball sidearm. I don't know if he's having trouble. He's not coming over the top, and you throw sidearm, you can either throw a sinker or, as this one did again, it sails.
On the throw, as Griffey hits the ball, watch Russell. He throws off his front foot. It's an error. Here's Concepcion. Jumped on that first one, didn't get it, and then strike 1.
John, I've been sitting down here with Jerry Doggett, who's one of the broadcasters for the Dodgers. He said this is the sloppiest game the Dodgers have played all year. And Russell with that little sidearm snap throw with another error. That's 3 for the Dodgers. Might have been 4 or 5.
Foul straight back. 2 strikes to count. Griffey's on at first. We're tied in the bottom of the 9th, 5-5. Concepcion 0 for 4. Davey with that double knob on his bat. Uses the one as a reminder. You see it. He grips it. Chokes up just a bit. Make sure he doesn't get down on the end. He puts that extra knob on the bat. Good fastball. Misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stewart was at Albuquerque in 1980. Won 15, lost 10. He's worked 10 innings so far. Earned run average 0.00. There goes Griffey, a false start, but he came back. He had me faked out. I'll tell you, he popped my shoestrings. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He really gave it a good start, Tony.
Well, he saw he did not have a good jump. And like most smart base stealers will, he decided if I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to get thrown on second base. I'll just come back.
Yeager's behind the plate. He's got a good arm. Let's see what Griffey does this time. Holding. Struck him out. Stewart gets his second strikeout in this 9th inning. Looks like he just threw it right by him.
It's either cut fastball or a slider. Cut fastball. Off the plate, Davey couldn't hold up. You know, Stewart has gotten a break because young Castillo, the man who taught, Bobby Castillo taught the screwball to Valenzuela, has not pitched well to the bullpen, so Lassard has gone to Stewart more and more often.
George Foster now. Foster lined out hard his last time up, has 1 base hit. It's a strike. Last year at Albuquerque, Dave Stewart struck out 125 in 77. In Clinton, Iowa, he struck out 144. Nice play by Yeager. A 55-foot curveball that he blocked nicely. Kept that ball in front of him. That's all you can do. Young catchers, look how he gets in front of that ball. It's all you can do. And with the curveball, it breaks back. It broke towards his left shoulder. He had to get in front of it, and he did. Good play. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Yeager's gotten 4 out of 8 attempting to steal this year. May have a chance here. Draws a throw. He was leaning. He had some ideas.
McNamara now from the dugout is all over the first base umpire saying the balk. He started a motion toward home play. A little bit of intimidation going on. Getting on Montague. Dodgers used to have an old trick where they'd cock or crack that left knee. Drysdale did it so well. Looked like they're going home and then come behind the first.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Foster had a good cut. Stewart is rearing back and firing. He's got a good loose right arm. It's almost like it's on hinges.
A body like a weightlifter. So does this guy.
200 pounds, 6'2", and looks thin. Deep to right center field. Should be caught. Landro, Guerrero says, I'll take it, and he does. So that ends the 9th inning. We have extra innings here in Cincinnati. The score at the end of 9 complete innings. Dodgers 5, Cincinnati 5.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trouble spots like these are what separate Gillette Atra from all ordinary razors. The reason? The Atra pivot. It keeps the blades at a perfect shaving angle, giving you a better shave than any razor that can't pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many more reasons do you need? Gillette Atra, the pivot makes it better.
Gillette, when it comes to shaving, we give you the edge.
In Singapore, where gasoline is $1.70 a gallon, Champion is #1. Here in England, where petrol costs $2.67 a gallon, the best-selling spark plug is Champion. Hey! In Italy, we pay $3.42 for a gallon of gasoline, and the Champion is #1.
Champions are #1 in the USA, too, and a tune-up with Champions can save an average of 1 to 2 gallons per tankful.
Save with Champion Spark Plugs, the world's #1 seller. Tomorrow is taking shape. Introducing the 1982 Ford EXP, a new front-wheel drive sport coupe carefully instrumented to keep you informed, all from a beautifully contoured command position. EXP with two-seater excitement plus hatchback practicality. There's room for two plus a lot of room for a lot of living. Tomorrow is here. Ford EXP, the first of the 82s.
40,928, and they've been treated to quite a ball game. And the new pitcher for Cincinnati here in the 10th inning is Paul Moskow. He'll be facing Steve Garvey. Garvey was had a perfect day. He walked in the first, hit a home run in the fourth, doubled and scored in the sixth, he singled in the eighth. Ball one. Hops it up. Bench says, I'll take it. Moskow hollers for him, and Bench makes the play. Well, there's one out.
Finally got Garvey out.
Garvey, first out. Ron Say. Say popped to the third baseman in the first. Bounced out 5-3 in the fourth, hit a two-run homer in the sixth, and popped out to the third baseman in the eighth. Strike one.
Joe, extra inning games seem to follow this umpiring crew around. I was talking to Lee Wire a while ago, and he said this is their 33rd game this year. 12 have been extra innings.
Nobody said it would be easy, Lee. And I tell you, keep in mind, those guys have been out there standing since the start of this game. They don't get to go and sit on the bench like the ball players between innings. Didn't mean to swing, and he's got himself a base hit. And there's what you were talking about, Tony. They overshift on him, so that time he didn't try it, but since they had overshifted, it paid off.
Well, he's using the whole field a little bit more, and he said he made a decision during the offseason. Had a talk with Campanis, in fact, the general manager, Al Campanis, and Campanis said, you just keep swinging the bat, pulling the ball, hit home runs. And Ron said, well, I think I can hit home runs and still raise my average by going the other way. So what he decided is working for him. He's been hot.
Ball one. Pedro Guerrero. Baltimore 9, Detroit 2, final. Kemp a home run. DeCincy had a pair of home runs. Murray had a home run. Winners Flanagan, losers Rozema. Off the glove of Ray Knight into left field. Say he's going to head for third. He'll make it. It's kind of unusual because it looked like Ron Say was going to stop at second. Then he saw the way Foster was going after the ball, and he just continued on to third.
Well, the scouting reports. Charlie Metra is one man who scouts for the Dodgers, as does Ed Libertor. Probably told him, you look at Say getting a good jump. He lulled Foster into sleep. Foster not known for releasing the ball quickly nor a great throwing arm. And it's a good piece of base running right there by Ron Say.
One out. First and third. Tomorrow on Sports World, a rematch of the karate bout that you saw last summer. Oak Tree Edwards defends his title against Ross Scott, the man Edwards beat to take that crown. It's a grudge match. And then we'll have some of the world's strongest women competing in the Women's World Powerlifting Championships tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time on Sports World.
Joe, with Yeager up, you always got to be aware of a squeeze play in this situation.
Strike one.
He hasn't been to the plate that often this year. And with Frias not known for his hitting in the on-deck circle, I'm going to sort of use those two left-handed pinch hitters early in the ball game. Monday and Smith with a score tied.
One strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Yeager. This is his first time at bat. Johnstone pinch hit for Socia in the 9th inning and tied it up. Combe is the man warming up for Cincinnati. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One man out, all tied, 5-5. We're in the 10th inning. Ronce's at third, Guerrero's at first. Moscow outside, 2-2. Bottom of the 10th, it'll be Johnny Bench, Ray Knight, and Oster. Didn't mean to swing. Back to Moscow. His only place at first base. He makes it. A good play by Moscow. He looked the man back to third. Say he couldn't go anywhere. And then Moscow fired to Bench. Watch him look at the base runners he comes up with it right there. He stops him and then gets his man. Good play.
Joe, he would have gone to third, except Ray Knight on the check swing was coming in case the play was messed up by Moscow, so nobody really was on third base, but they did have the runner say hung up if somebody had been at third.
John McNamara coming out now. They're going to have a big meeting on the mound. Oakland 2, Toronto nothing at the end of 2. Heath a home run. Bomback against Keogh. Boston, it's now 6-1 at the end of 6. Final score, Baltimore 9, Detroit 2. Flanagan the winner. Rosema was the loser. DeCency's a home run in the second with 1 on. Murray in the 4th, nobody on. DeCency's in the 7th, nobody on. And Kemp had 1 for the Tigers. Montreal and the Cubs. The Cubs beat Montreal 6-4. Final score. Burris was the loser. Russell was the winner. It's the only afternoon action outside of this game. Okay, guys, I'll get it in. Trying to get the other scores. Doubleheader next week. You saw it right there. Billy Ball. We'll be watching that. The Amazing A's go to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays, and Cincinnati and the Dodgers as they walk Frias. Well, it's a big doubleheader. 1 o'clock Eastern time right here on NBC. Frias being intentionally walked, and Ferguson is in the on-deck circle as Lasorda really goes to his bench. There's ball 4.
Kind of wonder now if Tommy Lasorda's having second thoughts of having pinch hit Monday and Smith. Back in the 9th inning with nobody on base.
Well, he was looking for that long ball, I guess, Tony, from Monday, and Reggie Smith got one from Johnstone to tie it up. He thought he'd end it there. Now it's up to Ferguson. Ferguson has not played much at all. He's only been to bat 10 times, 1 base hit. So Moscow, with the bases loaded, 2 outs, score tied, 5-5. Low ball 1. Joe Ferguson, the pinch hitter for Dave Stewart. All 2-0. Now Moscow has to back off and really take inventory here. The bases are loaded. Two outs. 5-5, top of the 10th. Foul ball.
Say one thing, Joe. Moscow did not let up. 2-0. Bases loaded. He didn't aim the ball at all. He let go his best fastball.
It'll be Johnny Bench, Ray Knight, and Ron Oster for Cincinnati, but right now they're in the jam. 3 balls and a strike. Crowd uneasy. You'll hear the reaction. Moscow walks walks in the run, and the Dodgers take the lead 6-5. Ferguson draws a big base on balls. There you see the Dodger bench. Ferguson at first. Frias is at second. Guerrero's at third. Bill Russell the batter. It's a strike. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs. Guerrero at third. Pepe Frias at second. Joe Ferguson is at first. 10th inning. Dodgers have just taken the lead. 6-5. 2-1 to count.
Joe, every pitch he's been wild with, he's been wild in exactly the same spot. He hasn't been able to adjust to the mound or get the release point that he wants down, because it's always been low and away, hasn't it?
It's been consistent with the wildness. Nolan just tried to break up the mood.
Tried to adjust, he overcompensated high and in.
Walked him. John McNamara is going to make a pitching change. Dodgers 7-5. In the top of the 10th as Moscow ran into a wild streak. And we'll be right back as we make this pitching change after these messages.
When I'm playing ball, I don't care how much I sweat. It's part of the game.
Oh, rap.
But off the field, I want to feel nice and dry. And I want to smell nice. That's why I use Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant. It's the wide stick. Effective protection with more dryness to help fight wetness. And it goes on dry so you can get dressed right away. So get on the stick. The wide stick.
Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant by Menace.
How do you top America's most popular sports car? Top it off with our Mustang Hot Top. Get over $500 off the regular sticker price when you buy a special options package, including this exciting T-roof. Get a special deal on Mustang final roofs, too. They are new special value buys on flip-up sunroofs and a classy Mustang carriage roof. Get great deals at your Ford dealer on Mustang Hot Tops.
Jeff Combe is a new pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. He spent most of 1980 with Indianapolis. He was in 4 games with Cincinnati last year. Didn't win or lose any. 185 pounds, 6-footer. Melrose, Maine, birthplace. He faces Kenny Landreau. Dodgers lead by 2, 7-5. Strike. Bases loaded. Moscow walked in 2 runs. The Dodgers have taken a 2-run lead here in the 10th inning. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's his fork ball, Joe. He is not overpowering. Sinker, slider, little curve. But he came up with that fork ball, and that's made him, well, it's got him to big leagues.
Looked like that was it again, Tony.
Yes, it was.
2 balls
goes down.
2 balls and 1 strike. You could see from that center field shot as he took the ball out of the glove that he had the fork stuck in it. Base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Ferguson. He'll score. Heading for third, Russell. Dodgers lead 9-5. big inning for the Los Angeles Dodgers. 9th man to come to bat here in this inning. Dusty Baker.
Sending a few people home.
Boy, it looked like fire hit the stands. I mean, they are getting up. There are a lot of seats emptying out. Oh, one.
Tell you, Joe, this is a rough game for Cincinnati to lose and a great one for the Dodgers to win, of course, but because the Dodgers at times looked like they were trying to give the ball game to Cincinnati with the errors behind Valenzuela.
Dodgers have done everything to try to lose it, but they've got a big 4-run lead here in the 10th.
Little check swing to the right side, started it off by Say.
Well hit left field, curving. It is a foul ball, just barely foul. Dusty Baker disappointed, but it's a foul ball. Lee Wire right down the third base line on top of the play. And Baker heads back. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4 runs are in. 9-5. Dodgers lead. We're in the 10th. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Russell's at third. Landro is at first. Jeff Combs in relief. Outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Landro will be off and running. Danny Ozark reminding Russell that the bases are not loaded, so he shouldn't start. He struck him out, way out in front. So the inning ends, but the Dodgers send 9 men to the plate. They score 4 runs, and as we go into the bottom half of the 10th inning, it's the Dodgers 9, the Reds 5. Johnny Bench, Ray Knight, Ron Oster for Cincinnati in the bottom of the 10th.
Right guard knows a man needs all the protection he can get. That's why a man needs right guard. Right guard has a male effectiveness formula so strong, no matter which right guard you choose, it helps stop a man's perspiration odor all day long. A man works hard, but right guard works harder. Now there's new hard-working right guard solid, too.
You know, one of the best things about coming to America was that I got to try American beers, and I tried them all. The one I like best, light beer from Miller. It's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. It's less filling, and it really tastes great. That's why I tell my friends from Mexico, when you come to America, drink light beer, but don't drink the water.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
New pitcher, Forster.
We have a new pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Terry Forster is coming on in relief. Dodgers lead by 4, and we have a most valuable player to pick. And there are a lot of candidates. Garvey, Johnstone, Say. Landro just got a big base hit. Valenzuela. Who you picking, Tony?
It's tough. We can't have a 6-way tie either, can we?
Nope.
I got to go with Garvey. He's had a 4-for-5 day. Walk, home run, double, single, scored a couple runs.
Well, I'm going for the spear carrier. The guy doesn't play too much. Got the big base hit to tie it up. Johnstone. That's my vote.
All right.
Strike 1. We're going to ask Steve Danz to get our tiebreaker here. Deep to right field. Guerrero going back. He'll not get this one off the wall. Johnny Bench has himself a base hit, a double. What an afternoon he's had. That's his 3rd hit.
Been on base all 5 times. A couple of walks, a single, a double, a run scored, now another double.
Steve our statistician, Tony, votes for Jay Johnstone. So if the game ends the way it is now, we're going to give it to Jay Johnstone.
All right, Jay Johnstone's pinch hit home run in the 9th. It broke the tie. Pinch hitting for
Ray
Sosa.
Knight. There's a strike. NBC's Baseball Game of the Week has been brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to test drive the EXP, America's new personal sports coupe. By the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. You've got the time, we've got the beer. And by Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant, the wide stick with more dryness to help fight wetness. Speed Stick by Menon. And by Arco Graphite, the black oil that reduces gas-robbing friction in your engine. The oil that's fact, not friction. 2 strikes to count on Ray Knight. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Don Ohlmeyer. The coordinating producer of baseball is Michael Weissman. The telecast of today's Game of the Week has been produced by George Finkel, directed by Harry Coyle, our associate director Mary Buda, our associate producer Michael Hadley. The ball gets by Yeager all the way to the screen, and Johnny Bench heads for third.
Forster has a tough slider. That's what this pitch is, off the glove. Gotta believe it's going to be charged with a wild pitch.
That's what they call it, a wild pitch. The official score rules it a wild pitch. Nobody out. 9-5, Dodgers lead. The Dodger bullpen gets active. Ronsay can't get it. Johnny Bench will score. Knight has himself a double. And it's 9-6.
So I wasn't certain down here. Did that ball hit the bag or the seam? Say looked like he was going to have a play on it, bounded over his glove, over his head.
Here's the replay coming up. We'll see.
Hit the dirt, part where the dirt and the artificial surface come together, and that's what made it bounce so high. Say may not have gotten it anyway. Wasn't playing on the line like he had been the last few innings in the tie ball game. Forster's going to leave. Hey, do you think there wasn't some gas in that room, some hard throws when Gossage and Forster roomed together down in Appleton?
Hard throwers, but Bobby Castillo is coming on. We're going to have a pitching change in the bottom of the 10th. 9-6, Los Angeles leading the Reds.
When I'm playing ball, I don't care how much I sweat. It's part of the game.
Oh, rep.
But off the field, I want to feel nice and dry, and I want to smell nice. That's why I use Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant. It's the wide stick. Effective protection with more dryness to help fight wetness. And it goes on dry so you can get dressed right away. So get on the stick, the wide stick.
Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant by Menon.
Unleash the spirit. Unleash the spirit. Blue Stratos.
Blue Stratos, the spirited new men's cologne and aftershave, as brisk and bold as the open sky.
Blue Stratos.
Blue Stratos, for the free spirit in man.
Unleash the spirit. Unleash the spirit. Blue Stratos.
Well, Bobby Castillo is the new pitcher for the Dodgers. Cincinnati with 1 run in. Ray Knight on at second base. 9-6, Dodgers leading. And the batter is Ron Oster. Castillo, 5'10", 170-pounder. Born, lives Los Angeles. Bought him from Monterrey of the Mexican League in 1977, a screwball. 1 ball. I mean, a screwball pitcher. I'm talking about his personality. You've heard it so many times. He's the one given credit for teaching it to Valenzuela. 1 ball and 1 strike. Oster has 2 base hits today. He's scored a run. is called. Oster doesn't believe it. Dutch Renner tells him about it again.
He better back down because Dutch is not going to take a whole lot. It has been a long, hot day. Here comes Mac.
Here comes McNamara, trying to get in between them. Just trying to keep his player in the game.
I'll tell you, when you're down here, Joe, you can see a lot of, you can hear a lot more obviously than you can up there. But the words are pretty strong by Ronnie Oster. Renner very easily could have thrown him out of the ballgame, but that to me is a sign of a good umpire. He said, you have your say, now I'll have mine, but I'll keep you in the game.
Foul, not a play. Tony's position is right next to the Dodger dugout. He's right at ground level. And I'm sure that he can hear it.
Well, Renner is soaking wet. He's been getting a cold towel on his neck in this heat. Probably relieved to be in the shade over the last inning or two.
Foul out of play once again. Ray Knight at second base. We apologize for some technical difficulty. There's nothing wrong with your set. Problem leaving Cincinnati. Foul back again. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ron Oster. 9-6. We're in the bottom of the 10th. The Dodgers are out in front. Ray Knight is on at second base. Nobody out.
Castillo has not yet thrown the screwball. He's only thrown fastballs to Oster. That was it.
There it was. That was the screwball. Uncle Scroogey. And he got him.
He got it up in the strike zone, but the change of speeds made fool Oster.
You can see it break away.
Not in a good spot. You could see him turn it over, couldn't you?
You can see that arm just turn inside out. Castillo gets a big strikeout. Here is Joe Nolan. 1 out.
That's the pitch that used here some old timers call the outshoot. Herb used to be the in-shoot, the screwball the outshoot.
Ball 1.
Christy Mathewson called his fadeaway.
Whatever happened to those great names? 2 balls and no strikes. Ray Knight is on at second base. Cincinnati looking for another base runner to get that tying run at the plate. Left field. Dusty Baker near the line. Should make the play. He does. There are 2 outs. Sam Mejias is being called back, and Larry Bittner has come out of the Cincinnati dugout. He'll be the pinch hitter now for Sam Mejias. With 2 outs. Cincinnati trailing by 3. Dodgers 9, Cincinnati 6. Larry Bittner. Bittner hitting .389. He's been in 15 games. Only been to bat 18 times with 7 hits. No home runs. He has driven in 5 runs. Baltimore beat Detroit 9-2. Red Sox leading Milwaukee in the 8th inning 6-2. Strike 1 out of play. Bobby Castillo.
2 biggest cheerleaders just to my left are Manny Mota and Tommy Lasorda. Both talking in Spanish to Castillo.
Left field, this should be it. Baker is waiting for it, makes the catch. And that ends the ball game. A tough loss for the Cincinnati Reds, a big win for the Dodgers. Scored 4 big runs in that 10th inning. So the final score, Dodgers 9, Cincinnati 6. The winning pitcher is Stewart, the losers Moscow. And we'll be back with some highlights for you right after these messages.
The new world car, Ford Escort, now shows you another face. The sporty Ford Escort SS. It shows its stripes, pulls with front-wheel drive, handles with rack and pinion steering, smooths with four-wheel independent suspension, informs and invites. The sporty Ford Escort SS, built in America to take on the world, and doing it.
Here's two good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Alex, I'm just coming out to look for you greenhorns.
We took a little detour.
Little detour? Little detour for what?
Well, we want to say thank you for putting up with us these last couple of weeks.
So we stopped at the store and picked up some Lowenbrow. Well, by golly, you city folks are all right.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
We had such a good time. We're coming back next year. Okay, but don't tell my horses that.
The final score in 10 innings, Los Angeles 9, the Cincinnati Reds 6. The Dodgers had 4 home runs and a big one by Jay. Well, they're all big, but the real big one stands out as the one by Jay Johnstone, and tied it up as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning. So the strength of that, this week's NBC Miller High Life player of the game is Jay Johnstone. And Miller High Life is happy to present a check for $1,000 in the name of Jay Johnstone to the Special Olympics. The winning pitcher is Stewart for the Dodgers. The loser is Paul Moscow. We're going to have some highlights. We'll be talking to some of the players. I see that Tony's already got some lined up, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. United serves more of this land than any other airline. That's what friendly skies are all about.
This has been a presentation of NBC Sports, the leader in innovative sports television.
See all your favorite country stars in a song-filled 2-hour special from Nashville, celebrating 50 years of country music Saturday on NBC.
Pardon me, what's going on? Oh, it's a wonderful day for the town. A great beer is coming all the way from America. And here it comes now.
Land sakes, Wilbur, all that fuss over straws.
Don't surprise me, no.
Hey, you!
Who, me?
Take my picture.
Me?
Here, use my Panasonic video camera and portable VHS recorder.
Reggie, I don't know how.
It's easy. All the controls can be attached to the camera, so you can take pictures. Smile. And with Panasonic, you get instant replay right through the camera, so you know you've got the shot. Take my picture. I got it, I got it.
I got it.
Get the fun of outdoors indoors with Panasonic OmniVision.
Reggie Vision.
Nobody thought the duck could do it, but Duck Dugan did it. Looks like a stroh-light night.
Looks like a stroh-light night. Looks like a stroh-light night. When things are going right, looks like a stroh-light night. Looks like a stroh-light night.
Stroh-light, a great tasting beer that doesn't fill you up.
Looks like a stroh-light night when good times come along.
Running out of patience, a special report Monday at 10 on Channel 5.
Dodgers 9, Cincinnati 6. In other baseball, the Chicago Cubs beat Montreal 6-4. Philadelphia at Pittsburgh, New York at St. Louis, San Diego at Atlanta, San Francisco at Houston tonight. In the American League, they're in the bottom of the 4th. Oakland 2, Toronto nothing. And over in Milwaukee, it's the Boston Red Sox 8. The Milwaukee Brewers 1 at the end of 8. And Baltimore beat Detroit 9-2. That's a final. Texas at Seattle, Chicago at California, Minnesota's at Kansas City, Cleveland play the Yankees tonight in Yankee Stadium. So that's it for other baseball. And right now, Tony is talking to Tom Lasorda and Steve Garvey. And Tony, I know that bunt play has got to be in Tom Lasorda's mind, and Garvey's there. So what will they be talking about?
All right, Joe, the good-looking guy is over there. That's Lasorda. This is Steve Garvey. Steve had a pretty good day, a home run, a double, a walk, a couple of runs scored. It was a nice day for you, but I want to get to this man first because he's the senior citizen right here. A bunt play. You made a comment a while ago. bunts have played an important part today and in yesterday's ballgame. What about the Valenzuela play?
Well, the Valenzuela play, Tony, it was a play that we called from the bench that was supposed to be a pickoff play at second base. So everybody was breaking to the respective bases. Russell broke towards short. He was supposed to come back. And when he fielded the ball, Steve come running in. Now he picks the ball up, and there was no one there because Darrell Thomas had come to second base for the pickoff play, and this is where the play got fouled up, and that's how all the runners scored.
So Valenzuela really shouldn't have been going to home plate with that pitch. He should have been going second.
That's right. He should have been throwing the ball to second base.
Steve, you came up with a pretty good day. You've been struggling a little bit. It was a nice day for you. Scored some runs.
A little bit, Tony. Again, making contact is the key, getting on base. I think Jay Johnstone showed people just exactly what the spirit of this 81 Dodger team is about. We weren't giving up. He comes, gets a big home run, then we add on to it, and we have a little cushion in that last half of that inning.
The phenomenon of the year up till this point has been a man called Fernando Valenzuela. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Well, not really. Not anybody come up as a rookie like he has and just dazzle everybody. He's done a tremendous job. And even today, the one error was really the turnaround that put us even, but he's done a tremendous job for us.
What was happening to Valenzuela when he came to the bench? I know you had a couple of conferences with him when he came in after the bunt play, got some things. He didn't seem rattled at all, though. He goes out there and just keeps on throwing strikes.
Has tremendous poise for a 20-year-old youngster. I'm telling you, nothing rattles him. When he gets men on base in crucial situations, he just takes a deep sigh breath, and he's right there. He's tremendous. The poise of the young man has been very, very impressive to all of us.
Steve, this has been a tremendous start for the Dodgers, and I know you've been on other Dodger teams before. How would you rate this ball club? You've had some injuries to Reggie Smith. Royce gets hurt earlier. But this ball club has a lot of depth and balance, doesn't it?
Sure does, Tony. And any championship team has to have a great bench, and that's what we have. That was evident today with Johnstone, other players getting key hits. At this point, the first 2 months of the season, this could be the best Dodger team I've ever played on. Again, we'll wait and see after 162 games, but it has the potential and is showing it.
Let me second guess you. Can I do that one time?
Sure, go right
ahead.
ahead.
All right, now you get a tie ball game. Johnstone hits the home run. You shoot two left-handed hitters up there. Now you come late in the ball game, you got right-handers left. Did you think twice about that?
Well, we thought the first thing that ran through my mind was the other day when McGraw was pitching and Mundy hit a home run. I was looking for another home run. We didn't want to go into extra innings, and if he'd have got a hold of one, that's what we were thinking about.
All right, what about your competition down the rest of the way? Obviously, this ball club across the field is good. Houston with a slow start. They've got exceptional pitching. Atlanta had a good finish last year. So the Western Division, even though you've got the good start, you expect it to be tight right down through September?
Well, we respect all of them. And of course, you mentioned Houston with great pitching. Atlanta with a young team that's got great offense. This team has the veterans. So we've got to go out every day and play like we did today. And this is a key road trip because we're playing Cincinnati and going to Atlanta for 4. So we'd like to keep rolling.
I see the glint in his eyes. We're talking close pennant race. He enjoys being right where he is. First thing he says is, hey, man, 6.5. Isn't this beautiful?
With us winning, too. He's usually a non-discriminating eater. He eats a lot when we win or when we lose, but now he's on a diet. That's one of the keys to the season.
Steve, he's fooling you guys because we were out here early yesterday during the day, and he said, I'm going to jog 3.5 miles. He ran 100 yards, went out of the ballpark. He may have walked, and then he ran 100 yards in the ballpark. You don't run 3 miles. I think you're putting us on.
Oh, yes, I did. In fact, I'm up to 5 miles, Tony. Yeah, I feel real good, and it's making me, keeping me in shape, and it's cutting down on my appetite. I feel real good.
Well, Fernando Valenzuela and Hooten, of course, and Royce. And Stewart coming out of the bullpen. You haven't had much to worry about thus far this year. A couple of injuries, maybe. You'd like to see Reggie back, I'm sure.
How could you say after watching these last 2 games that I have nothing to worry about? These games that kill managers, you know that.
All right, I'm going to let you guys go and throw it back up. Steve Garvey, congratulations to you. Tommy Lasorda, if we get stuck in town, we're going to let you, Joe and I are going to let you buy us dinner. All right? Take care. Joey?
Okay, Tony. Well, it looks like we may have a free dinner going for us. It was quite an afternoon of baseball here. We all tuned in. We all wanted to see the young phenom Valenzuela. He gave a pretty good account of himself. Although he was not the pitcher of record. The pitcher of record ends up to be Stewart, who wins his 2nd game in a row here. He won last night. The losers, Moscow, ran into a wild streak. The final score, Dodgers 9, Cincinnati 6. Dodgers with big home runs. Garvey hit 1, Say hit 1. Johnstone's tied it up. But the final score, well, 9-6. It's a hard one for Cincinnati because that base on balls, that's what did it. So, right now, we want to show you what's going to be happening on NBC tomorrow. We'll be back after this.
Tomorrow, be ringside with tomorrow's champions as knockout artist Tony Ayala takes on veteran Pat Hallisey. Plus, Boston's Danny Long battles the undefeated Alex Ramos, followed by NBC Sports World as the action on the canvas continues. It's dynamite martial art karate combined with the power of heavyweight boxing. It's the exciting PKA Championships. Then muscles ripple and biceps bulge as the world's strongest women pump iron in the World Powerlifting Championships. That's all tomorrow on NBC Sports.
We talked about the Dodger home runs. Garvey started it with 1 in the 4th. Daryl Thomas hit 1 in the 5th. Say hit a 2-run homer, but a man in the 9th inning who has been known more for his antics off the field hit 1 to tie it. Tony, you have Mr. Jay Johnstone with you.
All right, here he is to my right, a man who's been around. He's been known in an endearing fashion as the resident flake, whether it's true or not. That means lovingly. The guys that call you that don't mean it derisively.
It's not from Howard then, huh?
No, it's not from Howard. What kind of pitch did you hit?
It was a fastball, and it was in, and it was somewhat up, but he threw the pitch before that. 2-1, he threw a fastball. I thought it could have been called a ball, and so all I said, I choked up a little bit. Remember, you threw batting practice the other day to us, and we talked about me opening up too soon. And so I said, I got to stay closed and hit the ball hard somewhere. And when I hit the ball, all I did was try and say, well, I hit it good. I'm watching the outfielder because I lost the ball. I said, if he tries to play it off the wall, I'll go for a double, and if he fouls it up, I'll try and stretch it to a triple so we have a runner at third with no out.
So you don't expect it to go out?
Well, I didn't. I just hit the ball, and it's been so long since I've got a hit there. It's been about 2 weeks, so I knew it felt good, but you can't really tell. I'm not a home run hitter, and I don't try to profess to be, so I just hit the ball hard and try and get it by the infielders.
Now, a fella, Jimmy Lefever's father, has been your hitting coach, I know, over the years, and changed your batting stance. May have gotten you back in the major leagues a couple years back when a lot of people, and I think yourself, you may have thought you were washed up. But do you ever call him or talk to him?
I talk to him every winter, and I call him and invite him out to the games. When Jimmy comes in, I ask him how his dad is doing. Jimmy's a batting coach for San Francisco Giants, and ask him if he wants to come out. But Benny is coaching a team in Los Angeles, and so he's quite busy. But I talk to him every winter and make sure that I'm not doing anything wrong. And as his prize pupil, he wants to make sure I'm doing everything right. So I haven't lost touch with him, but I really have to say that he's the one responsible for getting me back to the big leagues.
Cannot let you go without talking about, because you've seen Fidrich when he was in his heyday with Rookie of the Year, but Fernando Valenzuela, any kind of special opinions or expressions you can use to find him?
Well, there's one of these guys that comes along every 10, 12 years. I think Cincinnati had one a few years back, Wayne Simpson. There's been a couple others I've seen, maybe a Bo Belinsky or Sammy Ellis, Wally Bunker back with Baltimore. But Vida Blue when he came up with Oakland. But every now and then you get a guy like this that comes up that has all the ability, and it's remarkable what they can do at that young age.
Jay, thanks a lot. Our guest down here, along with Garvey, and of course, time in the starter left, Jay Johnstone. Thanks, Jay. Back up to Joey.
Okay, Tony, the final score once again, the Dodgers 9, the Cincinnati 6. 9 runs, 14 hits, and 3 errors. Stewart, the winner in relief. Valenzuela had to leave the ball game. The loser for Cincinnati in relief, Moscow. 24 hits in the ball game, 4 home runs for the Dodgers. Garvey had 1 in the 4th, Daryl Thomas in the 5th, a 2-run homer by Say in the 6th, and Jay Johnstone, as you heard Tony and he talk about it, tied it up in the 9th inning with a pinch hit home run. So the Dodgers make it 2 in a row over the Cincinnati Reds as they defeat them by the score of 9-6 in extra innings. Valenzuela put on quite an exhibition here. He got in trouble, got out of it. It wasn't one of his better games, but he's not the pitcher of record. But the Dodgers do put a big W on the scoreboard, a bitter loss for the Cincinnati Reds. So for Tony Kubek, Joe Garagiola saying so long. Final score once again, Dodgers 9, Cincinnati 6. Now next Saturday, it's an exciting doubleheader starting at 1 o'clock Eastern time. First, see Philly ball. The Oakland A's against Toronto, or Pittsburgh and Montreal. In the second game, we'll be watching the same Cincinnati Reds and Los Angeles Dodgers go at it, this time from Los Angeles or Houston and San Francisco. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern time, it's Tomorrow's Champions Boxing from San Remo, Italy, followed by NBC Sports World at 4, and that's featuring PK Karate and women's powerlifting, right here on NBC, the innovative leader in sports television.
Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters play host to Dolly Parton and John Schneider. Then see all your favorite stars on 50 Years of Country Music Saturday on NBC.